So this train goes everywhere you want to go. LeBrain train. LeBrain train.
Give me a one-way ticket to anywhere. And a glazed donut. To go.
LeBrain train. LeBrain train. All aboard.
All aboard! Yes, it's the LeBrain train, the early show, the pre-show show. With my Nespresso, brought to you by the First Order. That one is called Stormio. And it's good. And it's good. Yes, it's good. It's très bien. It's très bien. Nothing much going on tonight, right? There's nothing in the news. You got nothing better to be watching. Why don't you watch this? Unboxing time. Rob Daniels' favorite part of the show. Unboxing time. Where are you, Rob? Who's watching? If you're not watching, you're going to miss it. That should be obvious, though. Okay. I've breached the packaging. No, I have not. You know, the funny thing is, every time I do this, it's like the worst part of the show. Yet I keep doing it, like trying to open a box. This came from Encore Records, by the way. Hola, Harrison Kopp. Coming to you from Australia, Mr. Harrison Kopp. How are you doing tonight? This box came from Encore Records on Monday, and I've held off all this time. I've held off. You know what? It's always tacky to have your Christmas decorations up after Christmas. Sorry, Mom. Mom bought me that. But you can't have your Christmas decorations up on January 9th, or 8th, sorry. Okay. I've opened the package. Are you ready to see what's inside? Hey there, Chris Sarr. And I'm glad that Harrison Kopp is doing well.
What could that be?
I decided that I was going to take a stab at getting some of those Dio remasters. Replacing some of the Dio in my collection with these new double remasters. So let's take a look at those. Shall we?
Yes, we shall.
Chris Sarr still has his Christmas tree up. Oh, these are nice. The packaging is nice. Okay. We'll start with, as you saw, Mr. Ronnie James Dio. Looks like all three of these have these really nice book packages, hardcover book packages. Really nice. Killing the Dragon, reissue. Master of the Moon, reissue. And for the third time, I've bought Magica. I have the deluxe edition that came out, I don't know, 8-9 years ago. And I have my original Japanese copy of Magica, which I prefer because it has the running order done the way I like it. Okay, so on this particular Magica remaster, you get a live bonus CD, 11 tracks. Looks like pretty much the whole album. Well, most of it anyway. Performed live. Huh. That's cool. That sounds like Chris Sarr. No, it's not. Okay. Killing the Dragon, which is an album I'm not particularly fond of. I like the title track. You get a bonus disc recorded live on the Killing the Dragon tour, but only 6 songs. And finally, Master of the Moon. Bonus disc recorded live on the Master of the Moon tour, 5 tracks. And I don't think any of these have Japanese bonus tracks on them. I may be wrong. I don't think any of these have the Japanese bonus tracks. That's really unfortunate, isn't it? So, the Magica Deluxe Edition is still going to be the go-to version. Although this 11-track live album is pretty cool. That's a nice little bonus. In addition, though, that wasn't all I bought. I decided to try and finish my Cars collection. So I got Panorama and the Debut. I thought I ordered a version with bonus tracks, but I might be wrong. Anyway, yeah, so now I got most of the Cars. Panorama's got bonus tracks. Shooting for You, Be My Baby, The Edge, and Don't Go to Pieces. Yeah! Yeah! So yes, that's some really neat packaging. And maybe the packaging is similar to the 2-CD Best of the Beast. I would have to compare. I guess we'll have to get them open and see. I'll let you know, Harrison. We'll discuss that in the future. Yeah. Freudian slip. So how's everybody doing tonight? I hope you are doing well. I am at the tail end of a beard. This is about max beard for me. I'm not gonna maintain this. It is time to dispose of the beard. This is probably the last time you're gonna see the beard, because I think next week's show, there will be no beard because I want to look professional next week. Next week, we have a special guest, and I can't tell you who yet. But if you stay tuned, I'll tell you who. And your minds will be blown when I tell you who. Thanks to Mr. Deek. Mr. Deek is the guy who gets all the guests, by the way. He's my booking agent. But I'm not going to tell you yet. Instead, what I'm going to do... Yes, Lana, I am getting rid of the beard. Say goodbye. It is time to say goodbye. By this time next week, I may look a lot like this guy. Right there. Hey, Aaron! How you doing, buddy?
Good. How are you?
Oh, doing real good, thanks.
Excellent. Hello, everybody. Whoever's watching.
Well, we have Lana.
Hello, Lana.
We have Harrison.
Harrison.
We have Chris Sarr.
Hi, Chris.
And we have my mom.
Hi, Mom.
And probably my dad, too. He's been watching lately, which is kind of strange.
Hi, Dad. That's not strange. Wants
Well,
to
he
see what his
doesn't-
boy's up to.
Well, I mean, it is kind of strange when you think that back in the old days, I'd be watching my music videos on Much Music, and he would walk into the room and say, "What's wrong with that man? He's screaming."
I got a better one. I was sitting in my parents' house watching the video for the Tragically Hip, locked in the trunk of a car. And my mom came in and she looked at it and she watched it for a second and she said, "What the hell is that? You like that?"
I remember.
Yes, I do.
I remember one night. My sister was really good to me. She always made sure I got like an Alice Cooper album for birthdays and Christmas and stuff like that.
Awesome.
And I remember I was 17, and Alice Cooper, "Welcome to My Nightmare." Actually, I was 18, I think. But Alice Cooper, "Welcome to My Nightmare" was my Easter gift. And I was listening to it in bed one night, and my mom knocks on the door because she's got my laundry, and she brings in my laundry, and it happens to be during the Black Widow. And she walks in, and she says, "The virgins and the women will be deflowered? What are you listening to?" And I'm like, "Mom, this is the album that you bought me."
So then she started vetting things. Hey, Lana.
She says there's an echo on your side. I don't hear it, but let's get some feedback from the others.
I do hear a little bit of an echo. I don't know what that is. I've got my other thing shut off.
I'm going to go get my headphones. That seemed to help last time.
Okay, I can put mine on too.
Hello, Rosanna.
Hey.
And Mr. Litwiller is here. Okay, so I'm going to go grab my my headphones. But in the meantime, I would like you all to say hi to Kevin. Kevin, you fill in for me real quick while I go get my headphones.
Yeah.
Hey, Kevin, how's it going?
Good.
Good. I still got an echo.
Me too. I think it's Mike.
It's all his fault.
Yeah.
It's always all his fault.
Yeah. I was watching
exciting.
I was watching the start of the show. I won't tell you where I was watching it from. I had a little emergency. I'm good now. I'm good now.
Okay.
I heard emergency. Are you okay?
It's not that serious.
Okay.
I just had to use the bathroom. And so I watched the opening of the show from Technology's Wonderful.
That kind of emergency.
That's right, yeah.
Okay, I was worried there.
I think it's great that you are... Hello, James. I think it's great that you are keeping the beard for the ZZ Top show.
Yes. You know what I'm finding funny here? I don't see any comments where James is saying hi to Aaron.
No.
I hear him saying there's an Aaron echo, but that's it. That's the only acknowledgement of Aaron existing. Kevin has an echo.
I do?
Apparently. Lana wants to know if that's your living room, but I think that's your den more, like your man cave.
Yeah, this is where Sarah throws me at the end of the day. She said, go down there and just leave me alone.
Oh, headphones did the job. Okay, I think we're good now that I've plugged in.
Okay, so I would just like to point out, if you would all look, Mike has a beard. Kevin has a bit of a beard. I don't. So we are ZZ Top. I'm Frank Beard.
You're Frank Beard.
Yeah.
Right? And you guys can be the bass and guitar. Let's go.
Can I be Dusty Hill?
Sure. You got the better voice.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Be more prepared, Lestain. Now, so I will explain to you why I didn't have the headphones on. Because I prefer not having them on if possible, because then if there's an emergency in the house, I can hear what's going on. But I've made arrangements, so this will be fine. But I just wanted to... Hey there, T-Bone. Yeah, I did start early. Sorry. Now, we already played the LeBrain Train song. I don't think we need to hear it again in 10 minutes. But I before we get into tonight's show, I mentioned this for you guys earlier. I would like to play a song that T-Bone is involved with. I believe this is a brand new recording, correct me if I'm wrong, of the Current River classic, Hotter to Hell. It sounds like a new recording to me. It doesn't sound like those old scratchy demo tapes that... up until now, have been the only Current River we've really been able to properly enjoy. You know, scratchy tapes, bootleg videos from Crocs and Thunder Bay.
That's part of the charm.
It's part of the charm. But I believe T-Bone, and maybe he can leave a comment or two to clarify. I believe T-Bone, where you recorded Hotter to Hell, and made this video. And for those who don't know, Current River is our very own Deke and T-Bone.
Super Deeks.
And a couple other guys whose names I don't know. I think one of them was named Moose or something. I can't remember. But I am going to play for you right now the Hotter to Hell video by Thunder Bay's Current River featuring Deke, Super Deeks on bass and Rangers jersey. And Mr. T-Bone Erickson on lead vocals and guitar. Here we go. Current River, Hotter to Hell.
world keeps burning, and we just watch the flames grow higher. And the world keeps turning, revolving round a ball of fire. Harder to hell, harder to hell. We're wishing you well from the Harder Hotel. It's an extreme progression, the link between hell and heaven. The higher ground drops off so rapidly, and a proud river runs through, separating us from you and giving us a sense of security. Yeah. Protection from the masses. Oh, it defines the borderline. And only one street crosses, leaving it all behind. Harder to hell, harder to hell. We're wishing you well from the Harder Hotel. It's a sign of the times. It's a state of mind. Oh, the bottom line can be so damn unkind. Harder to hell, harder to hell. We're wishing you well from the Harder Hotel. Harder to hell, harder to hell. Wishing you well from the Harder Hotel.
Awesome.
Oh yeah, I love it. I love it. Great video. Some comments here. T-Bone is questioning my calling it classic.
Totally.
Lana is a fan. T-Bone confirms that it's a re-recording of the original classic. James Kalin wishes it was Otter to Hell. Maybe that is another song idea that Troy can work on in the future.
That's the Weird Al version.
That's the Weird Al version.
You know
and
what?
Harrison is looking forward to the full album, Hod in the Shade. Oh, yeah. And Harrison says he doesn't like comedy, but he's a liar. So, gentlemen.
Where?
The reason we are gathered here tonight is because there's nothing on TV. There's nothing going on in the world at all that
Not
we
till
know
Wednesday, baby.
of. Yeah, baby!
Woo!
So there's nothing to watch on TV, nothing on CNN that I know of that's interesting. So we're going to talk instead about a band who put out their first album 50 years ago this year. A little old band from Texas called ZZ Top. Before we get into the lists, Aaron, you had a ZZ Top story you wanted to tell.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is cool. Okay, thank you. That's a nice segue. I think
Oh, and Rob Daniels is watching, I believe. So I just want
Rob.
to show that off.
Yeah, nice. I think I told this story on the blog before, but this time I can actually show you. So, in your mind, zap yourself back to 1984, if you can. Not the Van Halen album, but the year. My parents took us for the first time ever. We didn't do it again until like the 2000s. We took us on a family trip. I was 10 years old, and we went to Florida. So it was first time on a plane. First time out of the country, first time doing anything like that. And they took us to Disney in Orlando. And so we went to Disney and Epcot and SeaWorld or whatever that is. We did all those things. And part of the Christmas present was that we each got $100 American to spend while we were there for the week. And I decided, and I don't know why, that I was going to get a boombox. That's what I was going to spend my money on. Like I couldn't buy that at home.
Right.
Right, I don't know why.
And you needed something that big, with you.
Right, and also, lug that thing home, right? So, so I get down there, and one morning, my mom and my sister wanted to sleep in. So my dad and I got up, and we went and tried to find the mall. And so we got on the expressway, and my dad got off one exit too soon. And we went through a scary neighborhood trying to get back to the expressway. It was really something else. This was an adventure. So anyway, not the nicest part of Orlando we discovered there at that time. Anyway, we found it, and I bought a Panasonic boombox. I was set. And that was actually my radio until I got my first CD player last year of high school. So it lasted 7, 8, 9 years, however long that was.
Pretty good for a boombox.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was awesome. But I had to buy a tape to go with it. And I still have it.
Fuck. Yes.
This is my original. I played the hell out of this. ZZ Top Eliminator.
Show us the cassette. Open her up.
Yeah. See, this is part of the cool thing. When I was 10, I thought it was awesome that the tape was white.
White. Yeah. Show us the J card, too. Someone like Lana may not be familiar with the packaging of a cassette. Look at that. So this is all you got, Lana. That's it.
Well, it's even got my name written in it. So that
there
no
you
one
go.
would steal it. Boy, my handwriting was neat.
So for those of you who are too young to remember the cassette era, that's all you got for your money.
And it was in the case, and then it slides in, and then it closes like a book.
And then in the late 80s, early 90s, they began to phase out those blackback cases, and they were pretty much all clear from that point on.
Yeah, so now this is the first cassette I ever bought, the first album I ever owned. It is so small. Look, it's like smaller than my hand.
Yeah,
by quite a bit.
Yeah.
But it's my first ever album, and Mike, you will be impressed. The first album I ever owned was an import because I imported it myself.
I guess it is. You imported it. Imported it.
Yeah. So I just wanted to show that off because that's a little piece of Aaron history, and I do have I have. I think 3 copies of it on LP. This one was a little scratchy, so it ended up in the frame. But
perfect for display. Yeah.
But it's always behind me because that is the first album I owned that was mine.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. So tonight's perfect for that.
Chris Sarr asks if you still have your list, maybe you could do some overtime after the show and read us your New Year's list.
I didn't keep that.
Oh, damn. Okay, sorry, Chris.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, I had 2.
Okay.
I had 2, but they were just filler.
Now,
it turned out it wouldn't have been about what you guys were talking about anyway. It was all TV shows and movies and stuff, and I was picking.
I didn't do TV shows or movies. I did favorite things Uncle Meat has accomplished in his life. Which
That's true.
Basically all Max the Axe songs, basically.
Yeah.
and different places that he's been to the washroom. But I just want to put Kevin on the spot and ask real quick if you have a ZZ Top story, maybe the first time you heard the band or the first album you got.
The first album I got was on cassette.
There you go.
But I don't have the cassette anymore. I got the CD. But this was my first ZZ Top album.
So, Kevin, this is something we have in common. That was my first ZZ Top on cassette. Mm-hmm. And I never actually bought the CD because I ended up getting Rancho Texicano instead.
Right.
I have that on LP.
This cassette, this CD I got, this was sent into Columbia House for a penny, and you get 12 CDs.
Yeah.
So this is still from that, and I almost got rid of this because I have, I have all these songs elsewhere except for there was 2 tracks on here, Gun Love and Viva Las Vegas.
But they are both on the Chrome Smoke and Barbecue set.
Yeah, see, I don't have that. I haven't bought any more compilations. I just keep buying the studio albums. So,
no, I tell a lie. I don't have Rancho Texarkana on vinyl. I have some vinyls here of ZZ Top, but I don't have that one. The one I have that on CD. The one I have on vinyl is the best of ZZ Top.
Oh, I love that. That was okay. Yeah, that was my second one. Nice. I got that on CD. And I loved it, and that was like when I wanted to get all the old ZZ Top albums, because that was like the highlight of it. So that's when I bought 6-pack. I was in Toronto, and I actually picked up 6-pack, and I got rid of that greatest hits because I had 6-pack. I don't need it anymore, right. And I there was something off on 6-pack. Like I was like listening to it, I'm like, what is wrong with this thing? And then I found out later, when the internet became a thing, that they
I'm looking for it right now.
they actually went and they remixed all of their older albums to sound closer to their 80s sound. And they were just terrible. There are albums here that I have on vinyl that I absolutely love, but I could not stand on that 6-pack. There we go. Yeah. So yeah, I actually find a mic because
this is Kevin's copy.
Yeah, well, it's your copy now. You. It's all yours, and it's in such good shape because I never friggin' used the thing. I hated it. It's amazing how different, like just a different mix could just ruin songs like that. So when I first got into collecting vinyl records, one of my missions, because at the time, like in
the ZZ Top albums were not all in print in the original.
If you wanted them on CD, that was the only way to get them. So I would go get the vinyl because I wanted the original mixes for them.
There's a box set now. I'm actually eyeing it because I don't have them all, and it's 10 CDs.
Yeah, I got it.
And they're all in the cardboard cases or whatever.
Cardboard sleeves.
But every time I look, that's the one.
Yep.
And I was going to just buy that, but it's like $65 on Amazon right now. And I thought,
worth it.
Is it? Yeah.
I got it on sale.
Now, I will say, I will add 3 things to that. Give me a second here. Again, I'm looking for CDs.
They're cool. They're little sleeves.
Yeah, that's just like my Phil Collins box set that had all the albums in it. And they're all in the cardboards.
Max Webster.
Yeah, the Max Webster was the same. Yep, the party one.
The thing is if it had a gatefold, they put the gatefold in there.
Oh, nice.
It's kind of neat.
Hey, check out this one.
Yeah, I got that too. I was just listening to it to make sure that the version of Legs on there wasn't like.
That's nice.
It's only 2 songs.
Yeah, and it's the original version of Lagrange on the side too. It's nothing special.
No, well, it's just neat.
Now, I was just going to add, in regards to that $65 box set, I have that augmented by 3 additional discs, which is the ZZ Top Deluxe Edition, the 2-disc one, because that has a whole bunch of live bonus tracks that is not on the box set.
You mean Eliminator, right?
Correct. What did I say?
Just ZZ Top.
Yeah. And
Eliminator, yes. Tres Hombres has, I believe, 3 live bonus tracks, and so does Fandango, has 3 additional live bonus tracks. Kevin and I kind of discussed that during Christmas when I received those CDs. So, aside from those 3 discs, of which there are superior CD editions, that box set is ace.
Because it's the original versions.
Yep. Yes, it is.
Right, yeah.
And they sound great. I mean, that was my default go-to version of all these ZZ Top albums.
Okay. Well, maybe there's a secondary seller that has it cheaper.
You can always hope.
Just put it on your Amazon wish list. That's what I did, and
and then it notifies you.
It went down to $40, and I scooped it up.
Nice.
So
because that would be good. Because I don't have them all. I'd like to get those.
So to lay down what we're doing tonight, we are talking ZZ Top deep cuts, and like previous shows, this is no disqualifications. We are all going to go by our own rules. I went by my usual rules, which I'll elaborate on when we get there. Now, I have 2 additional lists by some musician friends, and do you guys think I should just read these off at the top of the show, or just, yeah? Okay. So I'm going to start with Mike Mailer. He's a local singer. And he saw me talking about this ZZ Top Deep Cut show, and he immediately sent me the name of 11 songs. So he sent me Just Got Paid, Party on the Patio, Move Me On Down the Line, Master of Sparks, Thunderbird, Balinese, Arrested While Driving While Blind, A Fool for Your Stockings, Layla, I Need You Tonight, Snappy Khaki, and El Diablo.
My goodness,
So-
I only have one of those.
Interesting. I may have two. Now, so that's a lot of oldies.
Yep.
But I have another list here by a guy that Aaron and I both know, Mike Slayan.
Yes.
And foreshadowing, I have tentatively booked Mike Slayan to appear on the show in 2 weeks for a riff show. We're going to talk best riffs.
Nice.
And we're still figuring out who else is going to be involved. You guys are more than welcome. But looking forward to having Mike on the show. He is a fantastic guitar player from San Diego. I reviewed his album Dude when it came out in 2018. And it is a beautiful acoustic guitar album for the most part. And I love it. I think it's a fantastic piece of music. He's a super nice guy, and I'm really looking forward to having Mike on. And maybe when we talk about riffs, he'll be able to play a couple for us and show us how it's done. Anyway, this is his list, and he went a little bit off the beaten track by using I Gots to Get Paid on his list. Which I guess, aside from a little bit of fame a few years ago, that song is kind of a deep cut, because you don't hear it anymore. He also included El Diablo. Again, that's the second time. Snappy Khaki, second time. Cocoa Blue, I Need You Tonight. Master of Sparks, second time. Layla, second time. Hot Blue and Righteous. Move Me On Down the Line. I think that might be a second time there. I'm losing track. Sure Got Cold After the Rain.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
And Blue Jean Blues. And he also sent me a message telling me what his number one track was. These were not in any order. His number one track is I Need You Tonight.
Yes.
So, fantastic list by Mike Slayan. And I truly cannot wait, hopefully 2 weeks from now, to be talking guitar riffs with him, all the way from San Diego, sunny San Diego. And say hello to Tyler, everyone, from Kitchener-Waterloo.
Oh.
So, those two lists out of the way, shall we start with our lists?
Sure.
Okay. I'll begin because I have some rules that I laid down for myself, and I'm kind of curious what you guys decided. But I decided somewhat arbitrarily that I was not going to use any tracks that were on Best Of, the one that Aaron showed us.
Oh, that one.
Or Greatest Hits,
Or
the one that
Greatest-
Kevin showed us. So
yeah.
any tracks from those two albums are disqualified. But I didn't disqualify any of the other ZZ Top Greatest Hits. Just those two, because I think they're very ingrained in everybody's memory. Like, they've sold millions of those things.
Mm-hmm.
So nothing from those. And hopefully I've completely excluded singles from my list. I did my research, and there should be no singles on my list. I also decided, much like my good friend Aaron, not to go in any specific order, except for I went chronologically.
The revolution has begun.
So why not? The revolution has begun. Yeah. So going chronologically, starting with ZZ Top's first album, released 50 years ago, Brown Sugar. And I just made little notes for all my songs. I put that what I really liked about it was the pulse of Dusty's bass. And it does have that. Dusty's a very... That's very much his bass style. It really pulses, is the way I like to describe it. And that's one of a lot of things I like about Brown Sugar, but yeah, Brown Sugar. That's my kickoff number 11 on the Nigel Tufnell Top 10 ZZ Top tracks. Take it away, Aaron, with yours.
We may be hearing about that song later.
Foreshadowing.
Also, just for all the Canadian viewers, we are talking about ZZ Top.
Right.
Which is something else entirely.
Lana might not get that joke. We'll see.
Harrison should, though. There's Zed down there.
Yeah,
as well.
there's Zeds down there.
Excellent. So my again, I didn't order anything. And I chose studio album tracks. So no live stuff, no covers.
Okay.
And I made sure, at least via Wikipedia, that I didn't have any singles.
That's what I did too. So we should not.
So
have
to me, that
problem.
should be fairly good. Now we're going to run into the same thing that we run into with Van Halen and that kind of thing, or Iron Maiden, where like there are fan favorites, and that's not a deep cut. God, everybody knows that song. But if it wasn't a single, and you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like I don't know the history that well, so
I used Wikipedia. Yeah.
Yeah. So fair play to it, but since there's no disqualifications, you can't catch me, Copper. My first one then is from Rio Grande Mud, and it is a song called Down Brownie.
Nice.
Which is just straight up swagger and blues like they do.
Yeah.
So that's my first one.
One nice thing is I have headphones on, so I can actually play a little bit in this in my ears and not get a copyright strike, so I can just hear this lick. Oh, that's a sweet lick, Aaron.
Oh, I know. Hey.
Nice. I like it, Aaron.
Can't go wrong with these guys.
Yeah.
Wicked. She thought that was a reference to Led Zeppelin. Nope, that is how we funny Canadians pronounce our Z's.
No, we pronounce
Zed.
it correctly. You funny Americans get it wrong.
Yeah.
Z top.
Zed.
Oh, you know what? I just want to say one track before... Sorry, Kevin. I just want to say one track. I was talking about this with the Meat Man yesterday, and he said, oh, you got to check out Martin Popoff's Sea of Tranquility show on YouTube. They were talking about great vocal performances, and one of his that he picked was a ZZ Top deep cut. And I was like, cool. What was it? So I watched the video, and he picked a song that I've never heard of. I don't know how well you guys know later ZZ Top, but he picked a song called Peace, sung by Dusty Hill from the Mescalero. I think it was Mescalero.
That was the only single on that album.
Ah. Well, anyway, I played it, and it was heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I just thought I'd throw that out there, that Martin Popoff called out this one track, Peace, that I guess is a single, but also a deep cut.
Oh, that would definitely be a deep
It was
cut.
actually, Aaron, it was actually Piece.
Oh.
I know. I Googled it looking for ZZ Top Peace, and I was getting all these weird things, and then I saw, oh, it's P.I. Okay. So, sorry, Kevin.
No worries.
Please tell us your methodology tonight.
Okay, well, I just redid my AC/DC list, and part of the reason why is because when I did that, I got really obsessed with where the songs fall on the album and how deep they are on the track and all that, and it just felt more right to do it with the songs that mean the most to me. So I put them in that order, how I like them. I kept Afterburner off the list because I feel like everyone probably has that album.
Poor Harrison. Harrison, sorry.
Hey, it's nothing against the album. It's just that 7 of those songs were released as singles. There's
insane.
10 songs. That was the MTV era, man. 10 songs on that album. 7 of them were released as singles. So nothing wrong. I like Afterburner. You know, nothing wrong with that. Okay, so Afterburner. I left off Eliminator for the same reasons, and I left off Tres Hombres for the same reasons. I just feel like those are the big popular albums, and there are a couple of albums really that I wanted to focus on. One in particular that you're going to get sick of me talking about before this is done. So to start off, my number 11 is a later ZZ Top. Well, it's late. I mean, this thing is 25 years old, but it's a later ZZ Top album, and it's Rhythmine.
Oh, yeah!
And I picked the song Pretty Head off of this one. It is like a slow, bluesy version of Sharp Dressed Man, basically. It's like this almost the same kind of riff, but they just do it so well. It's like, I mean, the lyrics Pretty Head, I mean, you can let your imagination run wild with that, but
no, I don't think ZZ Top are prone to sexual innuendo.
No,
I don't think so.
Not usually. No.
Hold on, I'm still letting my imagination run wild. Hold on.
But this album's actually pretty good. I wanted to pick Rhythmine, but it's the title track, and that's really good. And then there's another really good song on here. Maybe I shouldn't talk about it because you guys might pick them. But She's Just Killing Me is really good on here as well. But anyways, I
remember that track. I remember that. That was a single, I think, wasn't it?
It ended up on. It was a single, and it ended up in that Robert Rodriguez movie with the vampire.
Right, that's where it debuted, I think.
Dusk Till Dawn. Right. I actually bought that soundtrack. I never seen all the movie. I bought the soundtrack just to get that song, and then they put it on this.
Right,
I don't need that soundtrack anymore. So.
Yes, this is all coming back to me. That was like my first couple of years at the record store when that happened.
Right. Yeah.
And,
90s. Yeah.
My good old buddy Tom Morwood. I mean, he was excited to get new ZZ Top with "She's Just Killing Me," but I think, if I remember correctly, he was disappointed by Rhythmine. I might have that wrong. I might have it mixed up with Triple X, but neither here nor there.
Triple X is a different story. But this isn't bad. Like, I mean, it's not great all the way through. It's 12 songs. It's a little bit long. We're not doing albums, so we're just doing the song.
Yeah.
Pretty head. Good stuff. Listen to it.
That's a good round one. Yeah, Let's go to Jeff Steven with the... Oh, shit. We don't have Jeff
where is he?
Slacker.
Where's our board?
You know, I should have asked him because I learned from the Maiden experience that 3 is the ideal number.
Right. Yeah.
Any more than that, it makes his Venn diagrams go a little on the 4th dimension. But I would also just like to get this trending.
I don't know what it is with my opinion. Aaron can say, like, I only have half the albums. I don't care about the other half, and they'll be okay. But I say something one, and it's like Eric could say, I don't like the Beatles, and nobody cares. But that's
right. Right.
I'm just kidding. Your Beatles stuff was great.
Aaron and I used to have arguments about this, like the Beatles thing, and I'd be like, Aaron, they're fucking geniuses and blah 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 blah. And he'd be like, I just don't hear it.
Hey,
and you know, and that's valid. It's totally valid.
Sure, but the way he approached all your reviews and that, I thought you were very fair. Like you were like, look, I'm just sick of these songs. I've heard them so many times, but I recognize that there's stuff in here that people would like. And
absolutely,
everything was fair.
Well, you know,
thank you.
You know, you're right, and not to kiss Aaron's ass too much, but I think his opinion on the Beatles has actually matured over the years. But I may be wrong on that. I don't know.
No, you're absolutely right. I was much more vociferous in my hate earlier on, maybe half a lifetime ago.
The thing is,
I may be mellowing.
I don't want to get sidetracked. You know what? I'm not going to. We'll talk about the Beatles and all that stuff another night.
That'd be a good show.
It would be a great show. Oh! I didn't know Kevin's cool, actually.
I'm all over the place.
Would that be cool with a K?
Yeah, actually, redo your comment, cop. And Meat points out that there were 4 lists in the Maiden show. Yeah, and that made for a really wicked Venn diagram. Oh, shit. And apparently tonight is Alex Trebek's last show. I thought it was actually Monday. I didn't know it was tonight.
Rest in peace, Alex.
So we will watch that later tonight. Jen? Yeah? Are you watching Jeopardy?
Not yet. I'm recording it.
Recording. Okay, we're good.
Hi, Jen.
Okay, so we'll get maybe we can get a trend battle going here.
Boy.
But round two for my number 10, I picked a song that I think... Slan picked it. Sure got cold after the rain came down. I wrote down for my notes that it's sweet, sweet blues and slow as molasses. And I was just trying to get descriptive about what's tweaking me in the song. And I don't know, like it's hard to really get descriptive about a blues because it's all about the feel and it's all about the color and blue, yes, but other there's other shades in there too, Aaron. Like as we get in here, we're gonna see some more blues. But I don't know, like a song like "Sure Got Cold After the Rain." There's just something about it that's soothing to me. And a blues isn't necessarily always soothing. Sometimes they're actually kind of like make you feel a little tense. And we might get to some of those songs a little bit later down on this list. But ZZ Top, one of the reasons they're so great is not, obviously they've always been known for doing the blues rock blues, rock, a little bit of country. But they do a variety of all of those things. Like, it's not just we're a blues band. And I've heard plenty of guys that play blues that all the tracks sound the same. All the tracks, And ZZ Top are not one of those groups. And I'm hoping that people hear some good music from these lists tonight. And hey, Rob, he'd be down for a Beatles show. Maybe we should discuss that. Okay, over to you, Aaron, with your number 10.
Well, speaking of blue, I forgot to introduce you boys.
Oh, your
right.
new lady. Your new lady
There
friend.
she is.
Epiphone.
Yeah. It's a ES335 Pro.
Beautiful. And a blue pick to go with it. Matching.
Oh, well, yeah. Now, the light is shining on it funny, but look at that.
No, that's a beautiful finish, too. You can see that there's some real texture. Yeah.
These are the old vintage humbuckers.
57s?
It doesn't give a year, but it says the vintage humbucking pickups, and they are the loudest. Oh, there it is. They are the loudest pickups I have ever heard. I keep having to turn the amp down.
Oh, F-holes, too.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's semi-hollow.
Wow.
The 335 has always been a...
I've never played one.
Yeah, it's partially probably due to that acoustic effect of the semi-chambered body.
Yeah.
But this guitar could punch through a wall. I have never played a guitar that just wants to be that loud all the time. It's awesome.
We're just going to give Uncle Meat a little bit of a wah, wah, wah. Oh, wait. Wrong comment. Here. Wah, wah, wah. And,
you know what? I can't play Freebird, and because I never learned. I don't want to. So,
Me neither.
Sorry.
Shoot.
Anyway, that is a blues machine, so that is appropriate to show tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's so my number 10, I guess. Right, my next one.
Yep.
Because they're not in any order. It has already been said a couple of times. So
Wow.
It's coming from my very first cassette, and it is a muscular slow blues in "I Need You Tonight" from Eliminator. That is just I just love that song.
Which I
And of
believe
course-
was Mike Slane's favorite tune, if I remember correctly, from about 10 minutes ago.
And it's I mean, of course, I know every second of it because at one point this was the only tape I owned, so I played it a lot, and I learned every song because I never would. I just play all of side A and then I'd play all of side B, so I heard the whole thing.
You know, funny enough, Quiet Riot Metal Health was my ZZ Top Eliminator.
Yeah.
And it was also a white cassette. Funny enough.
There you go.
And Harrison wants to know if you take requests.
I appreciate the vote of confidence. However,
I'm assuming this is some kind of cheering for Kevin, is what I'm hoping that is.
Okay, yeah.
Kevin, with your number 10, Kevin. Oh, and hello, John T. Snow.
Hey,
Yeah. And everybody. Wow, you know what?
Yeah,
I didn't realize that it was Trebek's last show, but
We should
Damn.
start at 8. Yep.
yeah.
Oh, well. Sorry, Alex. So what are we on? Number 10. Yeah, number 10 is a song off of Mascalero. Mascalero, I know we're not supposed to do albums, but it's not a terrible album. There's like 45 minutes of goodness on here, but then there's some bad stuff on here. So I'm going to talk about some of the goodness on here. And one of the tracks I love on here is it's a song called Alligator, but it's not alligator, it's alley, like
Like a girl's name? Alley?
Like
a dark alley.
like a dark alley gator. But it's just a good little rockin' tune. I just like it when they just kind of rock out,
So does Steve Irwin never look for these gators that live in alleys?
No.
I've never heard of the species before.
I guess
This-
it keeps the muggers down.
Urban gators.
But this CD is wild. Like, I mean, there's 17 songs on this.
Okay,
That's not including the hidden track that's on here. So there's actually 18 songs on here. And then if you get the Japanese version, there's
Yeah, I was
19
gonna say.
songs. It's insane. And this came out in 2003. CDs were in a weird state in 2003.
Yeah.
If you look on here, it says you could play it on a CD player, you could play it on a PC, but you can't play it on a Mac. For some reason, it won't play on a Mac.
I've never seen that before, Kevin.
You never see Mascalero?
No, I've never seen that notation. Like I've never seen it say specifically that it won't play on a Mac. I've never seen anything like that.
I don't know
before.
why Macs are singled out, but whatever.
So, according to Wikipedia here, by the way, the standard tracks on this album come to 61 minutes and 27 seconds. And there's that bonus track, which is a cover called As Time Goes By.
Yeah, from Casablanca.
And the Japanese get an additional track called Sanctify.
Which is not very good.
Okay.
Don't worry about getting that.
But still obsessive-compulsive disorder, Mike. So, anyway.
You're gonna be spending a lot on that for a song that's... Like, listen to it on YouTube. It's not...
Dude, you're looking at the guy that bought Ozzy Osbourne's last album and ended up getting like a minute's worth of extra music. And same with the Darkness's last album. But
save you some dough.
I'm really glad, though, that you've picked more recent material because my list, spoiler alert, stops at Recycler.
Yeah, me too.
So I'm really pleased about this. And Harrison Kopp...
Oh, Antenna.
Antenna. ZZ Tops DVDs used to go on about how you could play them on a PS2 back in the mid 2000s.
Yeah.
I remember
that was a big feature because many people didn't have a DVD player yet.
That's right. Their DVD player was their PlayStation.
Right. So when the PlayStation 2 came out, it was like you could buy the other console, you could buy a Nintendo, or you can buy a PlayStation 2, and it'll be your DVD player at the same time.
Now, Kevin, you're the gamer, but I used to hear from customers at the record store that if you used your PS2 as a DVD player too frequently, you'd eventually burn out the motors.
I mean, it's a machine like anything else. The more you use it, the greater chance it's going to...
more than if you were doing that on a DVD player.
It's just going to wear out over time like any other machine.
Same rate as a... similar quality DVD player.
If you were only using it to play video games, of course it's going to last longer. If you're using it to play video games and watch movies on it, of course it's going to wear out faster, just like any other machine.
And of course Maxias has a PS2 because the guy collects obscure technology, and he's probably going to try to, now that I see him in the comments, he's probably going to try to hawk his, like, anybody want my PS2? $50, you know?
I do have a question about those. Because
a bunch of games here too. If you
my kids are still using a PS3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which was loaned to them by my brother-in-law because he has he's probably got a PS5 by now, but he was using the 4. And he's like, here, you guys can use the 3. The kids can bash away on that. And I find even when a game is in it, but I can only imagine when a movie is in it, that it gets louder.
Oh, yeah.
Like the sound gets loud, and then the machine starts to get hot.
Yeah.
Is that typical, or is this machine almost dead?
Okay, so inside is to just put it like you're playing a game and you're using all the resources in the machine to play the game. It's got to make a display, and then it's got to think. So it's like a computer. Same thing with your computer. You start using a computer, the fans start going to keep the machine cool. So that's what's happening is the fans going to keep the machine cool. Graphics cards get very hot and processors get very hot. So it's all just it's running faster to keep the machine cool. It's normal, but of course, the more you use it, the quicker it's going to wear out.
Apparently Harrison Kopp got a good 10 years out of his PS2. So, hey, good for him.
Yeah.
I'm going to move on to the next round. Although I'm fascinated by this stuff, and I wanted to ask Kevin more questions about gaming systems and like cooling and heat sinks and shit like that. But instead, we're going to go to the next ZZ Top track, which is my number 9, Drive My Chevrolet.
Yeah.
I wrote laid back and slick.
Yeah.
Is what I liked about it. I was kind of surprised that wasn't a single because it's so melodic and memorable. It just seemed like a good choice to hear on the radio. But yeah, Chevrolet. I believe that I'm still on ZZ Top's second album there. Am I still on Real Grand Mud there? Yeah.
Yep.
So many good songs on those first few albums, really. And I was telling Kevin earlier, wherever I put down my ZZ Top 6-pack, that while I was doing my listening for this list, I would occasionally click the wrong version of the track and I would get the ZZ Top 6-pack tracks. And they sounded so flat by comparison and kind of dead. And, processed as well because they added effects to Billy's guitar and...
It's bizarre.
It's not good. The ZZ Top 6-pack is not good, but, for a long time it was in demand because, like Kevin was saying, it was the only way you could get those albums digitally.
And the radio would get those versions too. And you'd hear them on the radio and you're like, why? Why this version?
your white greatest hits there, I believe, is also the remixed versions.
Yep, they are.
And I think that might have carried over to Rancho Texicano. I can't remember.
I don't know. I know it started with that reissue of Fandango and Tres Hombres. That's where they started to go back to the original ones because fans were complaining. They wanted the original mixes, you know.
Yeah.
For the longest time on CD, if you wanted the original mix of a lot of them, that old greatest hits that Aaron had, that was the only way to get those older songs.
Yeah.
Those mixes.
Does
and of course,
anyone
back
know?
then.
Oh,
Sorry, go ahead.
no, I was just going to say, does anyone know whatever possessed them to do that? What did they think they were helping?
Sorry, let me locate my CD and read you the liner notes. Where the heck did I put it down? I mean, like, I've only got so much space around me to put things down.
I mean, the idea was that they always evolved, right? They know that if they stayed as a blues band throughout, as they were in the 70s, you know, they wouldn't have evolved or progressed. And a lot of fans would be happy if they just stayed that way. But they were right to switch it up for the 80s because they became uber huge stars. They sold so many records in that. So, you know, they just felt like that was it. You know, I mean, CDs was new technology at the time. And it's just the mindset, right? Like in the 80s, it was still thought of as like if you had old music, it wasn't worth anything because everything was like the new thing. Nobody was listening to old songs or whatever. And it wasn't until the early 90s where like classic rock started to become a thing and people started going back and listening to the older songs, you know?
Okay.
I'll just read you a couple
Fair enough.
blurbs here from the liner notes. ZZ on CD, meeting the digital challenge head on. So it says here that only 4 of their albums were available on CD during the digital age, which was Afterburner, Eliminator, Diguelo, and Best Of. So after 17 years of building a loyal worldwide following, it was deemed that ZZ Top fans deserved more than just a flat CD reissue of a vinyl. The group and producer manager Bill Ham, still very much a cohesive unit. Blah blah blah. Remixed in Memphis, where the bulk of them were first recorded. The thought being that maintaining the feel of those early sessions should be a top priority.
Yeah, these are a lot of buzzwords.
Right. Not to mention the availability of a great barbecue. Oh, fuck off. But anyway, keeping in mind that some of these cuts predate the digital revolution by as much as a decade and a half, the task proved to be a major undertaking. They believe the effect was more than worthwhile. Success was achieved in retaining and enhancing the musical value and sound which Bill and the band wanted. Technology has finally caught up with their vision. You know what? Okay. You know what that reminds me of? The fucking Star Wars special editions. Technology has caught up to my vision, so let's put Jabba the Hutt next to the Millennium Falcon. That's what that is. The ZZ Top 6-pack is the fucking Star Wars special edition.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I can't remember whose fucking turn it is.
I mean, at least they went back, you know, like so you could get the old stuff. Unlike with George Lucas, you can't get the old movies. So at least I got that. But
True. I'm sorry though, I did lose track of whose turn we're on.
I'm not sure.
I did my number 9 Chevrolet.
Then I'm next.
Then we're on air.
I guess.
Okay, we're on Aaron.
And I just enjoy your rants.
Thank you.
So much.
Appreciate it.
They're brilliant, and I never know quite what's going to trigger it, but I always enjoy it when they arrive. It's fun.
I'll just say at the time though too, like in this with CDs, like a lot of when they were taking the transfers of the old LPs and putting them on CDs, people were complaining, you know, that
they didn't sound good. The technology was new. They didn't sound great yet.
So I mean, that's where you were getting stuff like the Led Zeppelin remasters and that. So, you know, ZZ Top was trying to do that, and they just ended up not doing it right.
What they did was make the mistake that too many people did in the early 90s, which is think that you have to remix an album rather than remaster it.
Right.
And people get confused. They don't understand the difference between those two words. So I'll just briefly explain what that means. A remix is when you take a song, you go back to the multi-track tapes and make changes. For example, you might lift the guitar louder. You might take the keyboards and put them lower. You might use alternate takes. You might add effects. You might add new vocals. But in a remix, you are changing the basic multi-track tapes in some way. Now, a remaster doesn't touch the multi-tracks. The mix stays unchanged. The drums are just as loud. Guitars, relatively speaking, all of that stuff is unchanged in the mix. What they do is they change the levels. Maybe a little bit more bass is needed, maybe treble, maybe the midsection's lacking, or whatever. And there have certainly been plenty of bad remasters, as that guy right there is well aware from having been disappointed in the past with buying remasters. You I know, prefer an original reissue of a CD 99% of the time, which is fine. Yeah. But I will say, aside from volume issues, the loudness wars, which we're not going to bother getting into, remasters have gotten much better in general since the trend started in the mid-90s, and now we're seeing remasters of remasters of remasters of. Yeah,
well, they're starting to listen to like customers too, right? Like customers are saying, like, look, we don't like you messing with these songs that we know. We just want to hear how they were. Just be able to play them on our CD players.
Chris Sar's telling me to get the fuck on with it, so sorry.
All right, let's
I'm just going to shut the fuck up.
No, and that's something Kevin and I talked about too with the Beatles thing, about how in the UK there'd be one version, and by the time it got to North America, it would be a different song because the label would change things. And
we're going to go down that rabbit hole. We better not. We better just go to your number 9.
Imagine having the balls to do
number
that.
Number 9? Number 9? Number 9?
My number 9 is from Diguelo.
Yeah!
Okay. And it is Low Down in the Street.
If you read my blurb today, that was one of the songs I chose to use in a pun about today's show. You don't have to. It doesn't matter if you just got paid or if you're low down in the streets. You can come and watch the show tonight for free, is what I said.
There you go. Yeah, it's now I had a note here that says from that album, I really do also like their cover of Dust My Broom.
Yeah.
I'm a Elmore James fan, so that's cool. But I wasn't doing cover tunes. So this one, I also really liked it. It's just brilliant. So there it is.
Rob is scolding me. The
censors are out.
Rob, well, for good reason. Rob has decided that he's going to eliminate that word from his vocabulary in 2021. So, yeah, I did promise him. I actually did promise him that I would try to be a good influence. So I've already bleeped that up.
Hey, Mike, what's the name of that album that Van Halen released in the early 90s there with the...
Right. This guy right here. He's the devil on one shoulder. Okay, Kevin, over to you with your much-delayed number 9.
Well, of course, I got to mention this because you mentioned Dust My Broom. That was the reason why the Diguelo did not end up on 6-pack and it become a 7-pack, because at the time when they were remastering the CDs, there was a copyright dispute between Robert Johnson's estate and Elmore James' estate.
Interesting.
They were both arguing over who actually owned the rights to Dust My Broom. So ZZ Top couldn't. They said we'll get to that album later because. So it actually saved the Diguelo from ending up on
from being remixed, I guess. Saved it from being remixed.
Yeah, saved it. So
thank you, Robert Johnson's estate.
There you go. Okay, so my number 9 is from Antenna.
Ha-ha!
ZZ Top's Antenna. This album means a little bit to me because I remember buying this with a couple of my friends, and they were getting. This was brand new. I think it came out in '94. So they were getting. One was getting Nirvana. The other was getting a Pearl Jam thing, and they made fun of me because you're getting an old band like ZZ Top. Like, what's wrong with you getting ZZ Top? Guess what? I still have the CD that I bought, and they got rid of theirs because they fell into the trend, and then like, I don't like this band anymore. I'm getting rid of that. I still got rid.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, nothing against those bands. It's just. Anyways, yeah. What is the song on here? What did I pick? I can't remember. Oh, Fuzzbox Voodoo. Okay. Which I don't know if you guys know that song, but it's just a funky.
We may hear about it later.
It's just a funky tune, and it's good. It's number 4 on here. It's a good album.
You know what, Kevin? I'm really impressed. You've picked 3 albums that are beyond the purview of my list.
Well, they're on the lower end of my list,
but still, I mean, we're getting this exposure out, and I would like to point out for the collectors out there that Antenna is another one that has a Japanese bonus track called Everything.
Yeah.
So there are See, this is another reason why I haven't got those albums yet, Kevin. Why should I go and buy a Japanese import ZZ Top album for ridiculous amounts of money when right now I'm in the middle of collecting, God knows what.
Yeah, I don't. To me, like, the album is good enough. Like, it's got 10 songs on it. It's a good, or it's 11 songs. This one, it's enough. Like, I don't like albums that are too long and they put too much stuff on it. And that, if you want to give me a second CD with the bonus stuff on it and a live show, cool. But just give me just your album, and I'm good to go with that.
The problem with a lot of these bonus tracks is that they've never seen a reissue in a compilation, because all the compilations are essentially of the early ZZ Top years, everything up into Recycler, and all the later stuff is on different labels. So you're not going to see a single compilation that has the bonus track from Mescalero, Antenna, Rhythmine.
Do the later compilations, I don't even look at, do they even have the older songs? Because their older label is Warner Brothers, and this is when they switched over to RCA.
Well, the last one that Wikipedia has an article about is Rancho Texicano, which only covers up to Recycler. And I haven't heard, I don't know the track listing for that ZZ
That's
Top
why,
50th.
that's why this only has, because these are just all the Warner Brothers albums, and then when they went to RCA, it's all under another label.
Right.
Whether you want these or not, I don't know. Like, they're like, the albums are kind of hit or miss, and the songs of them are kind of hit or miss. So I don't know how hardcore you are, but
well, if I buy an album, I prefer to only buy it once.
Yeah.
So I prefer to get the version with all the tracks. That's just the way I am.
You're gonna be spending a lot of money. I've seen how much they are.
Very
yeah.
Yes.
But I got buddies like Harrison, and Harrison is awesome because he keeps an eye on this stuff for me, and he says, "Hey, just earlier in the season, actually last season, one day we were talking about Black Sabbath. He found a copy for me of a Japanese import that I've been wanting a long time, and I actually bought it live on the show off Discogs.
Nice. Oh, there you go.
I'm going to do my number 8, which is a song that we saw. I think it was on Mike Mailer's list, Master of Sparks. And I wrote down that it's experimental and different and tense and wonderful. The reason I picked this song, and the reason actually this whole concept of the show came to me, was that my Sausage Fest brothers and I recently finished our voting for the 2021 Sausage Fest, and I noticed Master of Sparks was on a lot of lists this year. And so it got me to listening to that song a lot, and listening to ZZ Top a lot. So that's the main reason why I picked Master of Sparks. It's a great tune. I believe we're on to Tres Hombres now on my list, and I think we might see Master of Sparks maybe even a little bit more. We might. Over to you, buddy.
Okay, well, I'm going to stay on the same album, but it's not that song.
Oh, hold on.
Oh.
Lana.
Oh.
Yeah.
What? Oh, yeah. That's the whole point, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the whole point, Lana. That is the whole point.
Just be prepared.
Oh, that's another one. Harrison told me there was a Sultans of Ping Deluxe Edition. And
cool.
So he's very helpful with stuff like that.
Lana, just be prepared for Discogs right now. Shipping will kill you.
Yeah, that is.
Well, she's in the States, right? So
no, but she's in Hawaii, so there might be some crazy.
Oh yeah, a lot of
it's a little bit of distance to get out there. Yeah,
right.
Yeah. But yeah, that right now, it used to be Discogs was awesome because postal rates were, so you could find a decently priced album and not pay too much to get it to you. But now everything is so expensive. I just ordered Guided by Voices, of course. They have a new EP under a different name, Cub Scout something or other. Anyway, it's not under that band name. It's another band name.
A side project name.
6 songs, and it was $8 American, but the shipping was ridiculous to get it here from Ohio, which isn't that far. So
look, there's a band. I've been talking about them for a little while. Freeways.
Yeah.
These guys are down the street from me. They're 45 minutes down the street from me. it was for me to get this on vinyl. It was going to cost me $25 to ship it. My buddy in California, he got like $10 to ship it to him in California.
Yeah,
and but their label is wherever in the States. So
buying CDs right now isn't so bad, but vinyl's really prohibitive.
It's
really
ridiculous. That's why I got the CD, because I'm like, I can't afford that vinyl.
Yeah. So Lana, also you can use Discogs to keep track of your collection.
Yeah.
They have a feature in there where you can scan the barcode with your phone. You download the app and then you scan the barcode, and it will give you a running total of what your collection is worth and what you've got and all that stuff too. So if you're ever out somewhere shopping, you know what you have and don't buy it again and that kind of stuff.
The barcode, if the barcode works.
If it works.
And I find that Discogs, they got a little too much information on it.
Yes.
Like, I don't need to know that I have the 1983 version of Eliminator that came out in December, and it's the Canadian version, and it came
Actually,
out of this
you do.
plant.
You do, actually.
I don't need to know all that.
That's really funny that you use that as an example, because Eliminator is one of those albums that was changed midway through. They replaced Legs with a remix of Legs. So there are different...
Okay.
Yeah.
My legs.
So that's a bad example, Kevin.
Whatever. Yeah, because my legs on my cassette that I had when I was a kid, it's totally different than what's on the vinyl. But whatever. Anyways, I don't need to know all that. I just need to know that I have. So I just put it in. I just make myself a spreadsheet in Google, and I'm good with that.
You know what I need to know? You know what I need to know? I need to know what your number 8 is.
Yeah, we really should do that.
That was a good segue.
Yeah, it was Kevin and I had that spreadsheet conversation. I
think it's your number 8. I think we're on to you, aren't we?
11, 10, 9. It's me.
Oh, it's you? Okay.
Yeah, because I said I was going to stay on that album, but it wasn't that song. Okay. And then, of course, we got off on another another.
Yeah, we got to tighten up our talk.
It's only 3 of us. It'll still be 3 hours.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I'm not worried about that because we can't be in the same room together anyway.
Yeah.
So this is the equivalent of just
this is all the socializing I do.
This is it for me too.
Yeah.
And I do appreciate the adult company because I spend a lot of time with young children.
Well, we can get immature if you'd like.
Yeah, that's not hard.
See, I'd know you were doing it. No, my kids are awesome. I'm not gonna. Anyway, Tres Hombre. I chose Precious and Grace, which is I really liked how the tempo shifted.
Mm-hmm.
Like from being a slow blues up to faster and then back again, and I just like the way they played with that, and the rest of it's just awesome as ever. So there you go.
Lana, this is a problem that happens when you get to have a collection of this size, and when when your brain gets to be this gray.
Yeah, you have to keep track of it, or else.
Oh yeah. I've
done it so many times. I'm like, Weezer Blue album. We don't have that. I get home, I got the deluxe version at home. I'm like, when did I buy this? How do I have two? Okay, what are we on? Number
8, buddy. Number 8.
Okay, I'm going with an album no one has mentioned yet. No one has. Maybe.
Well, you've done that 3 times already.
It's an older album though. Someone might have brought up a song from it. I think someone brought up a song from it. Anyways, El Loco.
Yeah.
The album. The song is "It's So Hard."
Yes.
Yes. So "It's So Hard" is this album is like their first. Where they started getting experimental. Like
yes, that's when the technology started.
Yeah, it's really on this one, and then Eliminator, they really took off with it. But there's one great R&B song on here called "It's So Hard." If you want to hear ZZ Top doing an R&B song, it's on here. And Frank Beard's drums on this is fantastic. And great outro solo. I forgot to mention, too, that Billy Gibbons is like my favorite solo guitarist.
Yeah.
I like other guitarists better. I like Angus Young, I like Eddie Van Halen, I like Jimi Hendrix better. But when it comes to just a guitar solo, Billy Gibbons always just seems to hit the notes that I want to hear more than any other guitarist. It's a great solo on that one. So It's So Hard.
I will not comment because maybe later we'll talk
That's
about
awesome. That would be awesome if somebody else picked that.
Well, I can't say that I picked it next because my number 7 is what album am I on now?
Ooh, I'll be right back.
I guess I'm on
we're on 7.
No, I'm trying to figure out what album I'm on.
Oh. Well,
You tell me. You tell me.
song.
I
Tell me
picked
the song.
Blue Jean Blues.
Oh, that's on. Wait a minute. Which one? Is that Fandango?
I think so.
Yeah, I think it's on Fandango.
I picked Blue Jean Blues, which one of the other gentlemen picked on their lists. And what I wrote for this one is that it's the darker side of the blues, which is a contrast to what I was saying about Sure Got Cold After the Rain. And it's drenched in sorrow. And, man, it really is, though, isn't it? It makes you feel like you're just down in the gutter with Billy Gibbons. So, yeah, my number 7's Blue Jean Blues. What's yours, Mr. Aaron?
Well, the reason I left, I wanted to show you guys something else. I have this.
Oh, yeah!
Which is a giant hardcover book, coffee table size. But some idiot named Peter
Pete.
got rid of it, and it's signed.
Oh, my God!
What?
Wow!
That's Billy Gibbons?
That looks...
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He signed it quite
He signed
largely.
This, so
yeah.
I found this at my work, and nobody bought it because they just left it in the music section, and I didn't even know. I was just flipping through it, and I went, "Oh, hello!"
Goodness.
So I bought it.
At least it doesn't say like to Peter from Grandma.
Yeah, no, it says it's him. So that's pretty cool, and I don't know who that guy is. So my next one, where am I? Oh,
Number 7.
Recycler. I'm on Recycler, and the song is called Decision or Collision,
Nice.
which is just a song that'll make you drive too fast.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's awesome. I said here, making a decision to avoid a collision. That's what the lyric is. And
I just played it a bit. I just played that
Yeah.
riff. That's a nice lick.
It's awesome. And it just revs you up.
Yeah.
I did luck out.
Yeah.
I've lucked out many times in my life, Lana. You should meet my wife. She's awesome.
Oh shit. Yeah, that's a nice lick, Aaron. That's a good deep cut for sure. What do you got for your number 7 there, Kevin? Number 7, Kevin? Kevin 7?
7 for Kevin is off of Rio Grande Mud.
Nice.
And I chose Whiskey in Mama. I believe for me, this is like their first like really big 70s riff. It's the second last song on the album. This album, their previous album was like a little more mid-tempo. I think rock for the most part. For the most part. And then this one was like a blues album, but then like right at the end, they just hit you with that big 70s riff. And
it's funky. It's got a little bit of funk to that rhythm.
Yeah, and it's another one that has an incredible solo by Billy Gibbons. Jimi Hendrix said Billy Gibbons was his favorite guitarist.
Wow.
Like he was on what's his face's show. I can't remember the guy's name. But he was on his show and he asked Jimi Hendrix, who's your favorite guitarist? Who's the young guy that's coming up? And he said Billy Gibbons.
Wow.
There you go.
There you go.
Something like that could go to your head. It's a good thing he's
And
so
surprisingly, it didn't until much later, I think. No, he always seems to be down to earth to me.
Yeah,
like all
I
the
think
guys
so.
in that band seem to be down to earth. Like you watch that documentary, especially Frank Beard. He knows exactly what.
That guy's so laid back. That guy is so laid back. He's gonna melt into the couch.
I know. Like yeah, something else.
Well,
Anyways.
that takes us to the next round, which is number 6. And I picked something a little bit different, a little bit off the beaten track. Maybe it'll show up on one of your lists, but I really like "She's a Heartbreaker." Love that song. Yeah, it's got a country twang, but also in the sheer melodicism of that hook, a little bit of the pop side that would come up later too. I think it's just really melodic, really not a lot of thought given to making the melody more edgy. It just came out. If you isolated that melody, it's kind of bubblegum. A little bit of pop, a little bit of that country twang that I love so much, and I wrote that it foreshadows the hooks of the future. So, yeah, that's why I picked She's a Heartbreaker. I think it's a great tune. Yeah. Over to you.
Cool. Sorry, I'm just stuck on the foreshadowing of the future thing.
Well, yeah, like
that's cool.
I think so. Like
true.
that's just my personal opinion that I hear that pop side that comes up later in ZZ Top in the 80s.
Oh yeah,
You know, in the melody.
That was my introduction to them. Going backwards was a little bit.
Yeah.
I didn't get it the other way around. You know what I mean?
Well, same with me, and I'm presuming same with Kevin. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
in our age group, we didn't hear Tres Hombres as our first ZZ Top album.
No.
Nope.
Couldn't even find it in a store.
No. No, you had to get six pack.
All right, my next one is from Fandango.
Nice.
Because we know the first side is all live stuff and the other side is studio, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can find my copy. Hold. Well, no, keep talking. I can still hear you. Keep talking.
Okay. What happened?
I don't know. He cut out. Here's my Fandango, though. Here you go, Fandango.
Nice. Yeah, Mike seems to have disappeared. Oh, I just noticed he's got Mike on there.
Yeah. I forgot to show off the price of this Rio Grande mud, too. Look at
What is it? Oh, you got it on the other side.
other side. Can you see that? You see that? Look at that.
$4?
$4, man.
Holy crap.
That was record shows in 2000. You go to the record
Sorry,
show
I
in the year
muted
2000.
myself by accident.
Oh, there.
I just wanted to grab these two, which are Christmas gifts this year.
Nice.
Fandango. 3 bonus tracks in this one. Live, Heard It on the X, Jailhouse Rock, and Tush.
Nice.
And I looked up and down to try to find out where those live tracks are from, and I couldn't find it.
Yeah, the
I
liner
have no
notes
idea.
don't really say. But I did buy those separately because they are not in the versions within that ZZ Top.
Yeah, they are unique. Like I compared them to other.
Yes, they are.
Like the Live in Germany and a couple of bootlegs I have, and I don't know where they're from.
Anyway, yeah, the song I picked was Heard It on the X.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Which I have the note here. It says full on rockin' bar room blitz.
Ha ha!
So there you go.
I love that we both made notes and they're kind of similar in format.
Yeah.
I love that.
So if we were talking about Thin Lizzy, that would be something else, but this is a bar room.
Right.
But I love that song, and I just had the energy that.
That's the Sweet that did the ballroom.
Oh, Sweet. Sweet. What did I say?
Thin Lizzy.
Thin Lizzy.
Yeah, you're right. No, you're right. Brain fart.
That's okay. That's
Do
okay.
you know what the X is, Aaron?
I tell us. Is it a pirate radio? Is it pirate radio?
It's the CNE.
The CNE. That's a reference.
Yeah, it's pirate radio. That's what they had. They would just start these pop-up little radio stations in Texas, and they were always called X something. Like, you know, I had WKRP. Well, they would be like XKRP or whatever. But they would just make up some call letters for themselves. And yeah, you would say like, "Hey, I heard this on the X last night." Whatever song.
Yeah,
that's neat.
Yeah, that
makes me think of when I lived in Windsor. I was going to university there, and Detroit, of course, is just across the river. And we used to pick up 89X out of there all the time, and that was a really good rock and roll station. But I doubt that's the same thing. That was probably a corporate thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where we are in our day, yeah.
Yeah, I
that
think
that was the one that played the entire Van Halen album while he went out for a smoke that night. Yeah.
Yeah, I think some like commercial radio stations in the States started adopting like putting X at the end so they would sound a little more hip or whatever when they started cracking down on them. But I think I learned that all on this album. They wrote it all a little thing on Heard It on the X in here, which is kind of weird because I don't know. They named this one Antenna and they wanted to explain it why.
Okay.
Anyways.
Cool.
I'm going to use that as a segue. What did you hear on the X, Kevin, for your number 6?
Right. For my number
that's
6.
the worst segue of the night.
Yeah, I kind of shifted without the clutch there a little bit.
Yeah.
That wasn't so bad.
So it was really difficult for me to not pick too many songs from this album because I adore it. But the Guello, I went with Fool for Your Stockings. That's just a great bluesy tune. It's another one that's almost a little bit R&B in a way, like just the way that he plays the guitar. But that's a good song. If you haven't heard it, I mean, hear it, listen to it.
Us two. Now here's a question. I don't get the thing about stockings. You hear Billy Gibbons singing about stockings, David Lee Roth singing about. I don't get it. I'm not a. I don't know. I'm just not into them.
It's old. Those guys are much older than us, and women used to wear stockings a lot.
But, Roth in one of his songs, he's like, "Oh, I like the ones with the line that goes up the back," and it's like, I don't.
Do you suppose it's the same idea? And I'm guessing here because I don't know, but do you suppose it's along the same line as high heels, where it sort of shows off the shape of the leg? So if you're a leg guy, it sort of tightens the muscles and shows them. You know what I mean?
It must be, but I'm a guy. I'm not going to get into too much detail, obviously, but I like heels, but I don't like stockings. I like one, but not the other.
Mike. Give us all the details, Mike.
Yeah, okay. I'll show you my favorite websites.
Well, women just don't wear stockings like that.
I guess it's an old.
They just wear they just go bare-legged. Where when these guys a lot of it is like when they were younger and kids, and you're watching older women or whatever, and they wouldn't go out without stockings.
That's very true. If you think back, you look at the photos from the era, and I guess the stockings was really a part of the outfit. Really?
Why am I remembering that something about World War II, and they were they were like a luxury item.
Yeah, because they
needed the nylon.
Yeah, for the war. So women would wear. I think pantyhose. When pantyhose came out, that was like the big thing because stockings were like. You have to. Why are we talking women's underwear?
I'm going to tell you. I'll just tell you a really funny. I'll just tell you a really funny story real quick.
Especially when we don't know much.
The steel plant where I work. We had all kinds of different operations. One of them was a paint line, and I guess they needed pantyhose to act as a filter on the paint line. And our maintenance manager, who was about 6 feet tall and about 300 pounds, walked into Walmart and bought all of their pantyhose. I want to picture that at the checkout counter. I want to picture that at the checkout counter.
Gosh,
this big, huge guy, he's got a voice like this. You're buying all the pantyhose. This conversation got weird.
Yep, it definitely did.
LeBrain After Dark.
Yeah. You never know what you're going to get.
You never know, just like a box of chocolates.
Yeah.
I'm going to go into my number 5 with a song that was inspired again by my fellow Sausage Festers lists. Tom Morwood specifically put Manic Mechanic multiple times on his list. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you guys are going to think that I'm off base here, but what I wrote down, the first time I heard this, I thought I was listening to Frank Zappa. Mm. It's obviously not as complex as Frank Zappa, because if it was, it would have, 16th time and xylophone solos all over the place, but something about the weirdness, the and the that's right, all that weird stuff. I could picture Zappa writing a song that goes, that's right.
I think what makes that song crazy too is that it's on Degüello, which is basically like for the most part straight up, blues and poppy, and they got saxophone,
and then that's on there,
and that crazy song is on there. Like it hits you out of nowhere. Like if it was on El Loco, it would kind of fit there because they're kind of experimenting all over the place. Yeah, whereas it's just a straight record, and it's just got this one really weird tune at the end of side one. It's wild.
Good place for it though.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I'm glad you guys didn't shoot me for saying that it reminded me of Zappa the first time I heard it.
No, and I believe it's a heavy metal. I believe it's a heavy metal Overlord's favorite ZZ Top song.
Ooh, I wish he was watching Oh, it wasn't Morwood. I apologize. It was the Meat Man.
Oh, well, there you go.
It was the Meat Man. I see so many lists. Like basically the way we do it, we don't vote in secret anymore like we used to. We vote in public. So let's say Aaron was going to Sausage Fest next year. He would post his 100 songs in the Sausage Fest forum. And then I would say, ooh, I like that one. I'm going to take that one. I'm going to pick that one. And, there becomes a little bit of negotiating going on because I'll say maybe I got 10 spots left at the bottom of my list. If you guys want to vote for my Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, I'll vote for anything that you want me to on your list.
Oh,
So and we used to really kind of discourage collusion, but now collusion is part of the deal. It's almost like a trade show.
Sounds more fun that way.
It is a lot of fun. And like I said, I probably am doing the show tonight because of Manic Mechanic and all these other tunes that I kept seeing on these lists. Because once Eric puts it on his list, it multiplies like a virus and makes it onto other lists. It's fantastic. So yeah, my number 5, Manic Mechanic. How about you, Mr. Aaron?
Yeah, I just wanted to point out, while you were gone there, I noticed that you put MM.
Yeah, MM Ike.
So I just wanted to point out that for my entire life, I have been AA Ron the whole time.
He doesn't have to do anything.
Right.
I don't have to touch it.
Right.
If
I'm
he
already
wanted
there.
to, he could do MMRs,
Yeah.
but no pressure.
All right.
But yeah, Aaron's already got the name built in.
That's right. Yeah, I was ahead of my time.
And if you had Aaron and ZZ Top, you would have bookends, alphabetically speaking.
Mr. Books.
Segue.
And I just got to give a shout out to Deke if he's watching. I'm really happy he's going through all of these books. That makes me pleased.
Yeah.
So my next one, I'm back to Eliminator because this is a big album for me. So I put If Only I Could Flag Her Down.
Nice. That almost made one of my lists. Yeah.
Yeah, which I know every second of that song, of course, and so does everyone else. So, but I just, I that album is on here one more time too. So,
Beauty.
formative,
Mr. Kevin.
Okay, this album. I just spoiler alert. This album's going to pop up a little bit in my.
Is it
top
Duelo
5.
again?
No, this is like my. I guess it's like my new love because when I listened to it on Six Pack, I hated. I always hated this album, and I couldn't find it back in the day. I didn't get it on vinyl until. Actually, you know what? It was when I bought this and I heard it on this set that I got to get the vinyl for Tejas.
Yes.
And I friggin' fell in love with this sucker. It's like I mean, it's been about 5 years or whatever, but it's like my new favorite. Yeah, there we go. Tejas. So my number 5 is the first track on here, It's Only Love, which it's just a perfect starter song. And it feels, I don't know if you guys are going to agree with me, but it feels like a Rolling Stones song.
Absolutely.
Like just
Let me
how
click
it.
it.
It just,
what
I don't know. I get Rolling Stones vibes from it. But I'm surprised, like, how is this song not on the radio all the time? How is this not a big, huge song?
Oh, totally Rolling Stones vibe. I'm even hearing like a Charlie Watts kind of vibe.
Yeah, and how Billy Gibbons is playing the guitar, like it sounds like
it's very much that muted Keith Richards-y kind of rhythmy.
Totally. So now you try to listen to it on Six Pack. Listen to Six Pack version. It's like, oh my
Let's do that. Let's go to my 6-pack folder.
Ruined. But
Let's
Here we
all imagine what's going on in Mike's earphones right now.
Hang on, I gotta find it. Was it on disc 1? What's the name of the song again? Sorry. Oh, okay, disc 3. Disc 3. We're on Tejas.
It's Only Love. That's the name of the song.
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh, it sounds like Ragdoll by Aerosmith.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Like that opening drum beat is a boom,
Yes.
boom,
Yeah,
from
yeah.
Ragdoll by Aerosmith. Instead of a snappy Charlie Watts kind of sound that I'm getting on the original, it sounds like fucking
I know it's
Bruce
like,
Fairbairn producing Joey Kramer. Oh,
it's
awful.
down the hall. It's I know it's not good times. But get the original.
Yeah.
version of the song.
You know what, Kevin? You know what would be fun? Maybe we should think about this for a future collaboration. We should do a joint review of Six Pack.
I can't sit through those
see
anymore.
who can trash it with more color. Use
Drunk
more
reviews.
color. No. Totally sober, but just see who can trash it with most
More
colorful.
vigor?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know what he means by that. Anyway, brilliant choice.
Yeah.
And I guess we're back to me. With a track that, Kevin picked. It's So Hard.
Oh, that's awesome. That's
From
someone
El
else picked
Loco,
that.
I believe we said it was.
Yes.
That is
So
what he said.
you said it was R&B.
That's what it feels
and
like.
My notes here is kind of similar. I said disco blues with a question mark.
Sure, yeah.
I guess that's what R&B is, disco blues.
It was like early 80s R&B. I'm not talking like old, R&B. I'm talking early, like that time period.
Yeah. I wrote that it has a vibe to it, and you obviously agreed. So.
Yeah.
I'm pleased. And yeah, so that makes my list up to El Loco. And I'm going chronologically, so you can kind of guess where I'm going next. And Lana likes the idea of us reviewing the 6-pack together. I'm gonna twist his arm a little bit, and maybe we can line that up for a project. It's a long year ahead of us. He doesn't want to listen to it, and I can't blame him. Like that's the thing about reviews.
I was so happy to send that off to you because I'm like, you know what, 6-pack, you're out of my life forever. I never have to look at you again.
And you know what, Kevin? The truth is, except when I'm sitting here trying just wanting to compare one to another in A/B test, I'm never going to listen to it.
No, I know. But it was getting a home at your place. So
yes, like it is in part of the collection.
Yeah,
and it's a different version, which is what I collect. Fuck them. Anyway, sorry, Rob. Anyway. Maybe I should get all of this out of my system right now. This really fucking sucks. And I cannot believe that this was so big. Like, when I was working at the record store, this was always on somebody's waiting list. Because it was expensive new, so the way to get it would be used. And I remember Tom Morwood had it on his waiting list.
Yeah. Well, it was the only way to get those albums. That was it. Unless you go to record shows and buy the original vinyl.
So misguided.
Yeah.
Interesting. Top 11 songs that should not be touched or remixed.
Oh,
I don't
man,
know. That's like everything.
Covered.
That's like every song in the world.
Yeah, I got your top 10. Back in Black, right there. Those are my 10 songs. Don't touch them.
Yeah.
Top 11 songs that should not be covered. Leonard
Thank
Cohen,
you.
Hallelujah.
Thank you, Rob.
Leonard Cohen, Hallelujah. Leonard Cohen, Hallelujah. Leonard Cohen, Hallelujah. But come on. Anyway.
Okay, so It's So Hard, Disco Blues, good vibe. Over to you.
Me.
Number 4. You're number 4.
Yes, I'm on Afterburner. And
Afterburner? Well, that's Harrison Copp's favorite album.
Yes or no? I can't tell. Is it really?
Oh yeah. I'm serious.
Okay. I was
yeah. No, yeah. Sorry, I'm not.
You're kidding her.
Sorry, I have to work on like a sarcastic versus a non-sarcastic voice.
Well, here it is.
Vinyl.
Oh yeah.
Original vinyl.
Oh yeah.
Not reissue. Yeah.
Yeah, this is 1985.
I'd be surprised if that ever gets reissued because you could find that album everywhere so easily.
Harrison Kopp points out that it's one of his favorite album covers, and I have to admit that I liked it too.
Yeah.
I love the motif when they like Harrison doesn't like Rough Boy, but I love the Rough. Yeah, he doesn't like Rough Boy.
Wait, you love Afterburner, but you don't like its best song? Oh, he's the contrarian guy, right?
Now I love the guitar. Like you were talking about Billy Gibbons as a soloist, and that's got some brilliant, very David Gilmour-esque tone.
Yes.
But I loved the video with the space shuttle and like it was a great design.
It's
love
that
visual.
as a kid. I love that as a kid, and their faces all in the TV.
That was weird. That was weird.
I loved it
man.
as a kid. It felt like I was watching Doctor Who. It was.
You know what? I'm gonna. No, I'm not gonna say anything. We're gonna just go straight to Aaron. Back to Aaron.
Yeah. No, that's fine. You can. We're here.
No,
all
I'm
night.
not gonna say it because Lana will accuse me of the show going weird again. So I'm not gonna say it.
And she'd be right.
Yeah, but does anyone care?
Okay, no. I'll say it. I'll fucking say it. The disembodied legs walking around
those are creepy.
The video with the high heels on. I'm fucking 13, 14 years old. Dude, I loved the Rough Boy video. Okay, over to you. That's all I'm going to say. I apologize, Lana. I'm really, really, really sorry. I realize that at my age, I probably am coming across as the creepy old man. This is a risk that I'm aware of. Over to you, Aaron. Please,
you know what I'm noticing? You go back to this legs single. Look at the stockings with the line up the back.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, there you
That's
go.
what we were just talking about.
Fool for your stockings. Fool for your stockings.
Off of Afterburner. Last track on side 2, Delirious.
Mm-hmm.
Nice! I almost picked it. Yeah. Almost.
Because it is absolutely full on adrenaline.
Yeah.
And it ends the album. It's like you're listening along and you get to the end of side 2 and then bam, 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 and then it's over. It's awesome.
One of the reasons I almost picked it is because it's got a great Dusty Hill vocal.
Yep. Yeah. I just like the energy of it. You know. Yeah. I couldn't pick all slow songs.
Blues. You know what? Just Planet of Women is also great, as Harrison points out, but those are some upbeat, good tunes from Afterburner that don't get enough attention. And I think there's a few tunes on Afterburner that maybe go too far into the synth kind of thing, Velcro Fly and Stages, maybe.
It's never bothered me. I know it bothers a lot of people, but
period specific.
Yeah, and it's, I don't know, it's just that Velcro Fly. That still gets a giggle out of Sarah every time. Especially the sound effect with the whoosh.
Yeah. Okay, over to you, Kevin, with your number 4.
Oh, what is my number 4? Okay, yes. I went with their latest, La Futura. I don't think anyone's mentioned anything from here.
Well, I'm going chronologically, so
okay, fair
foreshadowing.
Fair enough. The song I picked on here was Chartreuse.
I played it yesterday, dude. I played it yesterday.
I love that song. If you look at the liner notes, it's the only song on here that they all wrote together. Oh. And like you could tell the songs where Billy Gibbons is kind of like off on his own and he's doing his thing, and then they come in and enhance it. Whereas this, you could just tell it just came out like they just got together in a room and they just ripped out a song. And they did perform it on the Howard Stern show, and they basically just said that they wrote the song in like 15 minutes, and it's great. It's got a riff. They just rip through it. He plays a solo. Boom, it's done. It's good times.
Now, for those who don't know, I learned recently, in fact, less than a month ago, that chartreuse is a shade of green.
Yeah, it's a color. Yeah.
There's a girl at work that's in our shipping department. She has this green toque, and I was kind of teasing her about it one day. She's like, "It's not green, it's chartreuse." And I was like, "What did you just say?" She's like, "Chartreuse." And I just started saying the word over and over and over again, and yeah, that's my story about chartreuse.
Well, I think they just picked chartreuse as a word because it rhymes with big caboose.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do.
Hey, man, you need something that rhymes with big caboose? What do you got? Chartreuse.
Moose.
I like the girl with the big caboose.
Loose. I don't know. That album I got from, I had air miles that I had to use up. And this was way back when.
I remember this story.
Yeah. And
Drama.
What?
Wasn't it like a hassle? Didn't you have a hassle with this? Oh, I thought you did.
No, that was something else. I saved
okay.
I was trying to get a camera lens.
Okay, pardon me.
Yeah, that was a whole other thing. And by the time I got enough points to get it, the thing was gone. They weren't offering it anymore. But they used to have, I had some choice words for that. But they used to have CDs. And that's how I got La Futura, because I was just using up just to get rid of them. Yeah, that's the end of that. Not all that interesting.
Well, that makes us heading into the top 3. And,
already?
Yeah. I, unlike Kevin, decided that I wasn't going to skip Eliminator. But, like my friend Aaron, I picked a song that is a fast album closer. I picked Bad Girl.
Yeah.
I wrote down it's an unexpectedly heavy, fast rock track at the end of a stellar album. And that, once again, I really love Dusty's vocals.
Yeah.
He's good at those kind of tunes.
Yeah. It's got the fake audience, fake crowd.
Yeah, it does, which I'm not a big fan of, but the tune I am a big fan of.
Yeah.
So that's my my number 3 as we enter the top 3 is Bad Girl.
Nice.
How about you, Mr. Aaron?
Well, my next one is one that's already been said. It's from Antenna, and it is Fuzzbox Voodoo.
Oh, nice. Right on.
Yeah.
I
said we were going to get there, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so now that both of you have picked a track from Antenna, as you discuss this track, I am going to Discogs to see what a Japanese copy of Antenna costs.
Oh, man.
Hey, Kevin, sing some hold music.
No, keep talking, guys. Keep talking while I shop.
Your call is important to us. Please remain on the line. And
I
a
found
representative will be with you shortly.
Well,
holy shit!
Yeah.
$5?
No.
Yeah.
Order me one too.
plus $30 in shipping.
There you go. There's the rub.
See?
But there's actually some affordable copies here in near Mint and Mint. You know what? Oh no, that one's shipping from Russia. Ah, crap. My favorite Japanese seller has it, and I just ordered from them. I'm waiting on some loudness from them. I'm just going to add it to my wish list. Okay.
I mean, the album's fine without any extra tracks. You could get this for like $5.
I need the Japanese, Kevin. Don't question this. Don't question.
I learned long ago. This is just gonna happen.
I say, why bother buying the album if you're not going to get all the songs?
Because you can get it for $5 and you can listen to it.
See, that just doesn't. To me, it's like I would listen to it and then be knowing consciously that.
Yeah, but sometimes the edited version is the better version. Look at Apocalypse Now. Have you ever tried to watch Apocalypse Now Redux? It's one watch. Oh, that was interesting. But if I'm going to watch it again, I'm going back to the original because I don't want to sit there for 3 hours for a bunch of scenes that are totally unnecessary. And it's the same thing with a lot of songs are left off for a reason.
Yeah, that's the original studio vision. That's what they chose for the album.
Yeah, that's what they wanted you to hear.
Don't make me mute your microphones, boys. I can do that.
Just trying to help you, man.
Yeah, we're not poking the bear at all. No.
And Harrison Kopp, as I was browsing Discogs, goes, "Oh no." Did you want to say anything more about the track, Fuzzbox?
No, it's just a good song. It's a good song.
Okay, already there. Yeah.
Okay, so
I will say that I don't know if anyone else going to mention Antenna, but when it comes to the later day ZZ Top albums, there's something that kind of loses its. I don't know. If you listen to them play these songs live, there's just something else there. There's a song on here called PCH. I don't think it's going to come up later, but you listen to it on here and it's okay. But they'll do it live on there's a YouTube video of them doing it live on some Swedish show, and it's just there's something extra about just I don't know just them there watching them play this random tune off of this album and I don't know how to explain it, but there's something missing off the recordings, and I wish it was there.
Well, I think it's a common theme in rock and roll that many bands feel that you cannot capture their sound live in the studio. I think ZZ Top might have come pretty close on some of those midday albums, but
sure.
Still the live version has elements to it and energy and adrenaline and chemistry that you just cannot reproduce in a studio.
Yeah.
Harrison Kopp is commenting about the Black Sabbath Cross Purposes album that I purchased live one day on the show. He feels that song wasn't left off for a reason, which I assume means that he thinks it should have been on the standard version. But this is
it's not every case. Not every case.
Right.
I'm just saying in general.
What I think Kevin was getting at there is that buying Antenna, which it wouldn't be considered a classic ZZ Top album, for $30 when I could get it for $5 is a little odd. But
I mean, if it's an album that you really enjoy, I will buy an extended edition of an album that I love. They're coming out with the extended edition of whatever, Black Sabbath Volume 4. Of course, I want everything from that because it's a good album, good songs. I want to hear how the progression is. I want to hear all the background. Sure, absolutely. But for an album that you're kind of it's okay. Do you really need that extra Japanese track of?
Yeah, he does.
Well, shit. You just reminded me. I still need to order Volume 4, that deluxe edition. And while we're on the topic of deluxe editions, Aaron, buddy, are you still a big fan of Shake Your Money Maker?
Enough, yeah.
3 CD deluxe edition coming up with 3 never before heard tracks. Deke heard one of them earlier today and was loving the new track that they've just previewed on YouTube. Live album from the Shake Your Money Maker era and all kinds of outtakes and stuff. So John T. Snow, Deke, and myself have already committed to buying the Shake Your Money Maker deluxe.
What are they selling it for?
Can't remember because I didn't pre-order it yet.
Oh, okay.
Snow pre-ordered vinyl, and I think Deke is probably going to go iTunes. I'm going to go CD.
I would go CD on that if it was reasonable. If it's $60, forget it.
Let's see if Amazon have it for sale yet, shall we?
See, I showed that to Sarah because she's the bigger Black Crowes fan than I am, and I said, do you want this? She's like, you know what? I'm gonna wait for the Amorica because that's the album I like. I like better, and I'm like, you know what? That makes sense. That's her thing.
I don't see it up for pre-order.
I'm all Southern when it comes to those guys.
Yeah,
I'm not. I'm actually kind of lukewarm on them. I enjoy some of their songs, but I'm a greatest hits album.
Well, I'm with Sarah.
I didn't even really like Amorica.
I loved it.
Well, you and I have had that conversation, Mike, already. I didn't, and all deference to everyone who does like it, including Sarah. But that album didn't do a whole lot for me.
Yeah.
So anyway, if it's $25, maybe, But
I bet you the iTunes version is usually iTunes versions are usually around that area. I bet for CD you're probably going to look at 40, but we'll see.
You know, that's another one. When was that? Like 91?
1990. 1990.
That's another one that I have lived with.
Yeah.
For 30 years.
Yeah.
And do I really am I ever going to play the live album more than once?
I think you might. Deke is really psyched about that live album, but maybe just wait until see what Deke has to say. He can make a convincing argument. He's done it with me in the past.
Anyway, I am interested to hear that.
But Mike, I think it's easier to talk you into buying music than to talk you into not buying music.
Ding 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 ding.
I'm going to mute Kevin in a minute. Where were we, guys? We were on number 3. Aaron, you're number 3, I think.
No, I've got 2 left.
Okay, maybe we're on Kevin's number 3, or did we do that all the 3s?
I have not done my number 3.
Okay, so we're on Kevin.
Okay. So the last one I'm going to Masculero again. This is another track on here that was only performed by or written by the band, by the 3 members of the band, and this one sounds more like they jammed it together. It's called "What Is a Kid," and it just has like a funky riff in it, and I mean, I don't know, it just sounds like as if they were jamming and they just kind of came together with this song. Okay. It's buried on there. It's buried in the song in the track list because there's 17 songs on here, but it's got a little bit.
18 if you buy the Japanese.
You don't need that one. It's got a little tiny smidgen of auto-tune in it. Just like for a second, there's a little bit of auto-tune in it. It's just a split second, and then it goes away. The rest of the song is fantastic, though. So, what
you just reminded me of? And this is hopefully revisiting a conversation that Aaron and I had in the past. But remember the band Live? Didn't they put out an album one time that had his vocals all auto-tuned, like Cher? And I was just like, this is the point where I'm jumping off the Live train.
Yeah.
You're nodding your head. That. You remember.
Oh, yeah. They're a great live concert, though. Pun intended.
Oh, for sure. And I believe they're back with Ed on vocals, I think.
Are they?
They might be. I don't know. You know what? I'm going to stop Googling shit. I'm just going to go straight to my number 2. And I chose something very different. Serious deep cut. I'm going to... maybe you guys don't even know it. Maybe you've never even heard of it. Reverberation. Doubt.
That's the name of the song?
Yeah, with doubt in brackets.
No.
What
Okay.
album?
Not on an album. This is on the Rocky... This is on the Rocky Erickson tribute album where the pyramid meets the eye. They covered, I believe it's a 13th Floor Elevator song, Reverberation.
Oh, okay.
And it was recorded during the Recycler era, so it kind of has that Recycler drum sound to it. It was reissued on Chrome Smoke and Barbecue. And I wrote down that it was my first exposure with anything to do with Rocky Erickson. And I wrote that it's a really cool tune despite the Recycler era drums, which I don't think sound that good by comparison to previous albums. Matter of debate. But when I play the track, I really hear that Recycler sound on the drums, and I really think, man, I wish that was a more natural sound. Just my opinion.
That was the final album that was like that,
yes.
So, they moved on with Antenna.
Yeah. So anyway, that I decided to go with a serious deep cut there. On Reverberation, Doubt, the Rocky Erickson.
Wow, I never... Yeah, that's cool. And
I heard about it in a guitar magazine in 1990. ZZ Top might have been the cover artist on that guitar magazine. But I remember them talking about this tune that they recorded for the Rocky Erickson album. And I'm like, well, I'll fucking never find that. So fortunately, about 15 years later, they reissued it on the Chrome Smoke and Barbecue. And now I don't need to look for the album.
Nice.
Yeah. So, Aaron, what's your number 2?
Well, I have a question first.
Yeah, go.
We were talking about that box set, the 10 CD complete albums box set. And when I was looking it up this week to do this project, it was $65. It's now $47.
Oh!
There you go. See?
Is that better?
Yeah!
47 is better than...
do the math. That's less than $5 a disc.
Okay, so I am... ordering live.
Jen just said from the other room, that's a good deal. And she knows deals, so there you go.
So complete studio albums box set, $47.69, free Prime delivery. It should be here. Yeah, there you go.
Nice.
So this is something I would like to point out to Mr. Harrison Kopp. This is the second live purchase on the show. Maybe even the third. Because I might have bought a Stormforce Japanese import on eBay live during the show. I can't remember how that went. But, yeah, that's awesome. Aaron, you just made LeBrain history. Season 2, the first live purchase on the show. The ZZ Top Complete albums.
Yeah.
Thank you, Amazon.
Yeah, hey, and I was just looking out of curiosity because we were talking about it before, right?
Yeah.
And I just thought, well, what the hell? I'll just look. And I figured it would be the same, but no.
Harrison points out that even $6 a disc was a pretty good deal. But yeah, less than $5 is an even better deal.
There you go. Okay, so now next week it'll be $29.95.
Ah, shit.
So my next song.
Yeah.
I'm going all the way back to ZZ Top's first album.
Beautiful.
Which is technically true and also the title of the album. And that is Brown Sugar.
Ah, that was on my list. That was my first one.
Yeah. I just like how it starts out all slow and it's a nice sort of slow blues, and then it's just right on straight into the fuzz and away they go.
Yeah, it's
awesome.
almost like two different songs.
Yeah. Yeah. So that definitely had to make the list.
There's something about that riff and a lot of Billy's riffs, and I can't put my finger on it. It's got a heaviness to it. It's got a weight to it, but it's also got a smoothness to it. You know? Something make you feel good. Ah, man, so good. Lana, I will say for me personally that Amazon Prime is worth it.
Yeah.
You get all the TV shows and streaming and whatnot. But that's, I can only speak for myself. I have 3 streaming services right now, and I'm thinking about canceling Netflix.
One of the things about Amazon Prime right now that might be iffy is that because everything is so backed up with shipping and postal delivery, like I'm still waiting for stuff that was ordered before Christmas. It's just because of COVID and because they're trying to be safe and everything is way backed up. So it'll say you'll get it in 2 days. You won't right now. But when all things are normal, then yes, it is also quite quick.
I don't know what services like getting stuff out to Hawaii either.
Out to Hawaii as well, yeah. That might not be.
I bet you they don't have next day delivery on a lot of stuff like we have
it's
here.
It's not in a canoe though, so it's got to be okay.
No. Great pick, Aaron. Beautiful.
Hey.
How about you, Kevin? What do you got for your... we're back to Tejas.
Going back to Tejas. And
which, incidentally, I just wanted to point out, because I forgot to mention last time, one of my favorite album covers.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
It's they always have like good album covers. I think ZZ Top. You know, they always like changing their logo and whatnot. I don't have a problem with any of their album covers. What the heck? El Diablo. That's the one on here. So I when I got this and I started playing Tejas again, and that El Diablo came on the CD player. And I was driving home, and where I live, it's kind of like in the middle of a bunch of farm areas. And at night, you get a lot of fog coming over the road. And I was driving home at night, and I was driving through the fog, and just that song starts, and it sounds all eerie, and it's called like it's coming up on the display, the CD display, El Diablo, and I'm like, oh man, this is really eerie. But I fell in love with the song just listening to it like that, and it's so good. It's got like, it starts. It's another one that starts off slow, and then then the rest of the band comes in. They all start jamming their way through the rest of that tune. It's so good.
Just for fun, I just clicked the 6-pack version.
Yeah.
Echo. There's extra echo.
I know.
Oh, it ruins the vibe. It really ruins that vibe.
Yeah, I could not stand that album. I thought, oh man, that one's terrible. No wonder why. And it's weird because nothing on this album is on it's on greatest hits or the old greatest hits.
I noticed that.
And I thought not this one. That's a bootleg. Forget about that. It's not on, none of the songs are on this. Yeah. The only song that's kind of known on here is "Arrested While Driving Blind."
Yeah.
But this album has got like a ton of good songs. $10 Man and Pan Am Highway Blues. Like the whole thing is really awesome. Yeah. So it was a great later find for me.
Mm-hmm. It's a great song. I think I saw it on a few Sausage Fest lists. I can't remember exactly.
Yeah, you mentioned it a couple of times there in the.
Well, that was on those guys' lists.
Yeah.
Speaking of album covers, we talked about this a few weeks ago, and we did the Maiden show. We're going to do a show of Maiden covers. Do you want to do a bonus list of non-Maiden covers? Oh man, dude, we'd be on for 4 or 5 hours that night. I don't know. That might be. Sorry, Aaron.
We'd have to have Deke on, and he could do the back covers.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, shit. This brings us to the last round.
Yep.
And I went chronologically, as you know, and I also told Kevin that La Futura might show up again. And I really like a song on La Futura called Flying High.
Oh, yeah. That's
the most commercial track on the album, I think.
Yeah.
It's really simple, upbeat. Yeah, it's radio ready, good time rock and roll. And I guess it's a deep cut. It wasn't a single. And it's kind of forgotten. It's not like ZZ Top's going to come out and start playing tracks off La Futura for any reason in the near future. I don't think so.
They
yeah, you know.
That sounds like that album's produced by Rick Rubin, and you could feel Rick Rubin's fingers.
Yes,
in that song. No, it's a bad thing. It's good. I like it.
I was going to make a rude Rick Rubin comment, but I'll refrain.
And let me tell you, when I saw them live, when they started that song, like everybody was getting up and dancing. Like I saw them at in Aurelia at Casino Rama, and everybody was like pretty much sitting for most of the show. But when they busted out that song, everyone got up, and it was a bizarre concert, man. I saw it there, and it was like we sat down in our seats, and in front of us was like all these big biker dudes with like, you know, the tattoos, and they had the denim vests with all patches and everything on it, and just like we were watching Sons of Anarchy at the time, and we were like kind of like, oh, I think that one could fill in for that one, and that one could fill in for that one. Like it was crazy, and we thought, man, we're going to be in for a rough show, but man, no, they just sat there and they were very well behaved young gentlemen.
Oh shit!
That reminds me of seeing Sloan and Meaford, and everybody stayed seated the whole time. That was freaking weird.
Yeah, when we saw Sloan in Brampton, it was the same deal. We saw him at the Rose place, and everybody just sat until they got to like the encores and that, and then finally people started getting up and that. It was weird, man, because like they'd be in between songs, and they were doing their they were doing the whole album. My favorite Sloan album, Navy Blues. They were doing Navy Blues from beginning to end, and so Navy, like you think, oh man, that'd be so awesome if a band does this, you know, songs from an entire album from beginning to end. But because they were doing it in that order, it didn't really work for their live show that well. So in between every song, they would have to like switch up instruments and switch up.
Yes.
So it would slow down the show, and everybody would get quiet, and all you would hear is them like clicking in their guitars and them like, you know, tuning and the piano and stuff.
You know what's weird, Kevin? When I saw Sloan live on the Between the Bridges album,
yeah.
They did something similar where, you know, they switched the instruments, but they played incidental music in between.
Oh, I've never seen them do that.
There's some like between song music on the Between the Bridges album.
Oh, okay.
Aaron might be able. I think it's like between where side 1 and side 2 would go, but anyway, they played on tape a little bit of that stuff between songs while they were switching instruments. You know, the lights kind of go down, and you can see them kind of moving around in the shadows. And the next thing you know, it's Chris Murphy on the drums and Andrew Scott's on the whatever.
They do that. Like when I saw them for the 12 tour and the Navy Blues tour, and like they always switch their instruments and that. But there's like a flow to it, you know. Like you can tell like this song is meant, like this is a Chris Murphy song, and then the next song would be Patrick's song. So then they would switch, and it would all be natural. Whereas on Navy Blues, it's just like you're on guitar for this song, and then you're on piano for this song, then you're back on the guitar. Like they had to like switch every single time. Not that it was a bad show; it was a good show. It was just you know. It was eerie.
I saw the original Navy Blues tour at the
Me too.
bomb shelter in
Oh,
Waterloo. And that
Frank
is the
Lafredo was talking about the bomb shelter when he
Yeah.
was on back in October.
Yeah, I honestly think, because I have a bit of a hearing issue in my left ear, and I honestly think that show might be part of it.
Oh,
It was so loud you couldn't even make out the songs. And of course, I was right down front. I had my elbows on the thing, but I moved back just so that I could make out the music. It was that loud.
the mistakes
whoever-
of youth, right, Aaron?
Well, but whoever was doing the mix in the room that night sure didn't know what they were doing. You know,
Yeah, probably some student.
because it was just kind of a in your ear, and you couldn't even make out the music.
Yeah, bummer.
So too bad.
Yeah.
Anyway, how'd we get on Sloan? It's not a bad thing, but
No, but I believe it is your turn.
oh, okay. I also had a story to tell.
Oh, well, do it.
Kevin driving. Kevin, the driving through the fog story.
Yes.
I had a funny one, and Mike might remember this. This is another funny musical driving story. I was coming back up here. I sort of take the back country roads because it cuts about 20 minutes off my trip when I go home. And I'm coming back up through, and it's mostly Mennonite country through there. And Twisted Sister came on, and they were playing Burn in Hell. And I had to stop. I was cry laughing. I had to stop the car and text Mike because I said I'm driving through Mennonite country listening to Burn in Hell, and it was awesome. It was just one of those moments, you know.
Yeah.
When I hear that song, all I can think of is Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Oh,
Yeah.
is that a good thing or not? I can't.
I
tell.
think it is, but it's totally not what the song is meant to evoke, you know?
No. So anyway, my last song. I'm back on Eliminator again,
Nice.
and it's Dirty Dog.
Nice.
Just because that is the Eliminator sound to me. That song, you know, like everything
Yeah.
about it is just there. You go, and it's awesome.
I'm going to give it a spin in my headphones while you talk.
Sure. Well, no, that's
Yeah.
it. That's the song. So yeah, I had I had 3 from Eliminator out of 11, and only because it was such a big song, a big album for me. You know, the only
Yeah.
tape I had for a while there, and
Yeah, it's a good one.
till I got
That's it.
Columbia House.
Yeah, and that album is just so good from beginning to end. There's just not a bad track on it. There's nothing I ever want to skip.
No,
I
Got Me
even
Under
love-
Pressure could have been on there.
Yeah.
You know,
I even love
that's the
TV
thing
Day.
about cassettes, is that when we were buying these things on cassette back in the 80s, we didn't really skip songs because it was
Oh, no.
really a pain in the butt
Pain. Yeah.
compared to any other format, really.
And it
Cassette-
was a fancy cassette player that would rewind it to the start of a song.
Yes.
Right?
My
Yeah.
sister had that. Where,
Like
where
it would pick up the silence or whatever and stop.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was fancy pants. We never had that. That was just
That I never liked because
Weird.
it never seemed to work right. And
It didn't always work right.
yeah. I tended to navigate my cassette player more manually than like I had auto reverse and all that stuff, but I tended to just do it all manually.
oh yeah, no, we never had that. And did you notice that if there was a break in the song, like if they would be playing, and
Yes,
stop,
yeah, it would
and then
stop.
start up again, it would stop
Yeah.
at that point
Yeah.
in mid song.
Yeah.
Yeah. I never. And my Orlando bought Panasonic boombox didn't do that. It was just the one cassette with the radio, and that was it.
I've mentioned this before, but like one of my Holy Grail items in the universe would be a mint condition, fully refurbished Nakamichi Dragon cassette player.
Okay.
It's about $4,000,
Oh.
but it's the greatest cassette player ever manufactured in the history of humankind. And apparently, keep in mind I'm not a tech head, but apparently, the problem with auto reverse on these cassette players is that the angle of the head versus the cassette is slightly off. So you have to have like some kind of correction when you do this, you know, the auto reverse. So the Nakamichi Dragon instead had a different solution to this problem where the cassette actually goes zzz, zzz, zzz. Actually flips. Literally actually flips. So that the angle of the head is always precisely correct with the direction of the cassette tape.
Boy, that sounds like just a whole lot that could go wrong.
Yes, and I'm sure that
inexpensive to fix.
I'm sure that is 100% true, and I'm also sure that I don't have $4,000 to spend on a tape deck. But dude, if I ever win the lottery, I absolutely 100% guarantee you, I'm going on eBay and I'm looking for a Nakamichi Dragon, and I will pay whatever I have to pay to get one.
Wow.
Apparently, it can make a cassette sound as good as a CD. Apparently,
right? I doubt that.
Well, it depends on the cassette, right?
Yeah.
But I don't have a decent. I have a decent cassette player, but it needs new belts. Is the problem? After 30 years, the belts wear out.
Yep.
Yeah, I think mine is a bit screwed too. That old Sony that I've got there. I don't know. It doesn't work.
Unfortunately, it's COVID time, and I'm not going to be shopping around for shops to replace the belts on my cassette deck because I can't do it myself. We talked about this. We were talking about Boppin might have, some ideas. He's a tech head. He knows how to.
Oh
do this
yeah,
stuff.
he would know.
Yeah. So maybe post COVID,
what to get or
replacing belts is very easy. It's
I've watched YouTube videos, buddy. These I might as well have 10 thumbs. Okay? I'm gonna mute you.
He's been threatening.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
He hasn't ever done it.
I'm just kidding. I really don't want to do that, Kevin. I
don't blame you. I would just throw it out and get a CD player instead.
Then how am I gonna play that?
Why would you want to? What is it?
Phenomena featuring Glenn Hughes on lead vocals.
Oh, is that like the Muppets? Phenomena. Phenomena.
All right. You got one more track, buddy.
All right.
We're back. We're back with Diguelo.
Again. No, we're not. I'm
we're not.
setting up the story because my favorite, one of my favorite ZZ Top songs of all time is, I can't remember the name of it, but it's my favorite song. Wait, hold on.
My favorite song. I don't know what it's called.
Hey, Aaron, while he looks at his favorite song, what the hell is that on the cover of Diguelo anyway?
It's a skull.
No, above that. The laser beams and shit.
That's a sail from pirate ship.
Being shot by laser beams?
Some lasers are going through there. It's sci-fi.
No, it looks like looks like
a spaceship to me.
Yeah.
It's like very Mad Max. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like I don't know if I can get it any closer. But yeah, it's like a
I guess I see the sail, but to me it looks like a triangular shaped UFO shooting lasers at a.
You might also think it was like an angel's wing.
Could be.
No, that's the mast to hold the sail.
Yeah.
That's
but I mean, if you were just looking at it.
Guess if you wanted to shoot a sail with laser beams, I guess that's what it would look like. I don't know. Sorry, Kevin. Go ahead with your track.
Sunglasses is my favorite, one of my favorite ZZ Top songs. But there was a song that kind of sound it's in that style, in that vein, and it came on. I know, man. You try talking to these guys after 2 hours, you'd be freaking dead. All right, so my favorite song, it's on Tejas, and it's "Enjoy and Get It On." It's like a precursor to Cheap Sunglasses. But I like it even more. It's got even like a funkier sound to it. And freaking Billy Gibbons just rips an awesome solo. The whole band is just like friggin' playing on. Everyone's just at their top, at their level of best. Like
they're smoking.
How is that song not on the radio all the time? How does everyone not know this song? How is it like not one of the biggest songs of the 70s? I don't understand it.
What song is that again, Kevin? You don't know that?
Enjoy and Get It On, and Cheap Sunglasses is my favorite ZZ Top song. Although it might be Enjoy and Get It On now. I think I like that song actually better.
And that's on El Loco.
Tejas.
Okay.
He's testing me now, right?
No, I'm navigating my folders is what I'm doing. I'm going to...
He's going to listen to it. I'm
going to the 6-pack and Enjoy and Get It On.
No, don't do it on 6-pack. No. Why?
Yeah, that's awful. The original version's really a lot better.
Oh.
Well, that takes us full circle to That's it. That was wicked.
I said in that reply to your post about tonight that it was really hard to narrow this down.
Mm-hmm.
The one challenge that I have with this series, it was Van Halen or it was Iron Maiden or it doesn't matter who it is. Mm-hmm. It is really, really hard to keep it at 11 songs.
Yes.
Really hard.
But that's why that's the challenge for guys like us. That's why this is a challenge. And not, it's more fun for me anyway to challenge you guys.
Well, if I had hair,
You-
I would be pulling it out.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you there, man. I have some honorable mentions though.
Oh,
Yeah, do 'em.
That stuff that hasn't been mentioned. Chic, which
Listen to it today.
I love that
Mozambique.
song. The only reason I kept it off was because it follows Lagrange, so I figure that everybody knows that song. But I love that. I just love that. I met a Chic from Mozambique. That's just such a great opening.
Makes you wonder, like which came first, the Chic or the Mozambique? Like, how
I
did he
don't know.
construct that lyric?
I don't know. But it's
You wanted
great.
to write a song with the word Mozambique in it.
Off of a Recycler. I love the song "Love Thing."
Yep.
That's I don't know. I really dig that song. It almost made my list. Like, it was very, very close. I did mention Rhythmine, but the album's named Rhythmine, so that's the only reason why I didn't say that one.
Okay.
She Loves My Automobile off of the Guello.
Yeah,
That was-
yeah.
Right.
That's the saxophone one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I mean,
Was
that
it
song-
Billy who played the sax on that one?
They all did.
All three of them played the sax?
One played the bass, the other played the tenor, and the other played the alto.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I see.
It was very sexy.
Yeah. Ayo. And a song actually off of Triple X, XXX, was just like their worst album. I don't know if anyone
Okay.
if I recommend anyone to buy it. But I have it for some reason. I didn't bring it down here though, for some reason. Anyways, it's called Beatbox. But I already had Fuzzbox Voodoo, so I didn't want too much box on my list. So that's the only reason why I left it off. But it's a little funky tune. It's only like 2.5 minutes long. It's not bad. It's pretty
I'm
good.
trying to figure out what the Japanese bonus track is on this thing.
On Triple X?
Looks like it's a song called Ninja Shack.
Don't
Ninja Shack on Triple X.
See, you got to draw the line at Triple X because there's just no. It's a very bizarre album. Going
What
down
about
to
Going
Mexico.
Down to Mexico?
I don't
Didn't make any of our lists.
know that one. Going
Yeah,
down
neither do I.
What album?
It's just me.
How's
Maybe
that
he's
not
making
coming
stuff
to me?
up. Maybe he's
There's,
making it up.
There is a
No,
funky
I-
one. I'm surprised no one picked it. The Mexican Blackbird.
No, I love that tune, but it's a little
It's
it's a little different, right?
Yeah,
like he's doing
yeah.
a voice in it.
Yeah, I thought someone might have picked that though because it's just kind of out there, and
Yeah.
it was on that soundtrack too. That Dust Till Dawn soundtrack.
Well, no kidding.
Yeah,
That was such
Huh.
a weird movie.
yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't like it either.
No.
I know a lot of my friends went to see it and they came out of it going, I thought I was going in to see Chris Starr specified this on the first album.
Yeah, okay,
I thought I was
thanks.
going in to see one kind of movie and I came out seeing vampires. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
ZZ Top came back on that From Dusk Till Dawn with what was that? She's Just Killing Me, and it was good to have ZZ Top back.
Yeah.
The Antenna album, they did that one single Pincushion, and it didn't really do anything.
Yeah, see, that's the other thing with Triple X. It's got a live version of Pincushion on it, but they switch up the lyrics and they
Sin
sing
Pusher.
Sin Pusher,
Yeah.
which it's just weird. It's the exact same song. But if you want a good version of Pincushion, like Pincushion's not a bad song, I don't think. But a really cool version of it is they went on the Dave Letterman show to promote this album, and they did it with the Paul Schaefer band.
Oh, neat.
And the Paul Schaefer band does like all the little fills. Like they got one guy doing the tambourines, and he's like shaking them back and forth. And Dave is a huge ZZ Top fan, so you're getting like a good vibe off of him, and it's just a really, really cool performance
Cool.
of that song.
Right on. Can you believe they've been going for 50 years?
It's crazy. It's wild.
Well, actually, a little bit longer than 50 years, but the first album
Yeah.
came out 50 years ago.
Just like it's like they've always been there.
And
But you don't really think of it.
You know, aside from very early member changes, same three guys, but the
Yeah.
early member changes, nobody counts them.
Yeah, I mean, really, they became a band when Frank
Yeah.
Beard and Billy Dusty Hill
Dusty.
got with them. Like that. That's really the band. You know.
Nobody counts the other members.
I mean, does it really count if you never really? They didn't record. Did he record with them? He recorded like
There might have been like that early single, that Salt Lick or something.
Right,
No,
yeah.
that was
was that
the
Moving
the
Sidewalk?
moving sidewalks.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm not even going to get into this because that's stuff that requires research, and
Yeah.
I could watch that documentary again. And
What, you don't have it just off the top of your head?
no, sorry, buddy, I don't.
Oh.
I don't remember all these details. It's probably in the box set, the
Yeah.
Chrome Smoke and Barbecue box set. Those details in the liner notes, but I've been at this for 2 hours.
I also have to commend you. I haven't seen you drinking coffee tonight.
No, I finished it.
Oh, okay.
I just drank the one. Just needed one.
Okay. Because usually there's an intermission at some point.
Yeah, I didn't do that tonight.
Another one,
yeah, I didn't do an intermission tonight. But I did have a music video I was going to try to play at the end of the night. We'll see. I've been worried about copyright strikes if I try to play certain things, but I think I'm good. That's why I'm saving it till the end.
Bedroom Thing. That's a good one too, off the first album. You know, I don't play the first album often. I never got it on vinyl, and I actually just got it with this set.
Yeah,
the first time. I really haven't played it that much, but Bedroom Thing, that's a good one too.
I like the first album quite a lot. I play it quite frequently, actually. So
this might be my new thing. It's the first album because I haven't played it that much, so I might dive more into it. But
have you reviewed ZZ Top, Kevin?
No, I haven't. I'm still trying to get
series.
Well, I already am in like the midst of AC/DC, which I haven't finished yet, and then I started Van Halen. I got the first 2 done, and I haven't finished that yet. So before I start anything else, I want to finish something.
Finish something before you start something.
Yeah, you know.
Do you want to talk real quick about anything you got cooking over? I mean, you've been doing your end of year lists and your movie list from 2020, and my God, I mean, you've been doing lists out of the wazoo.
I know. I just been getting up in the morning and just writing, and just I don't know. I just kind of feel like doing it, so I just go with the flow, kind of thing. But doing that, and I'm going to be doing tomorrow. I'm going to be working on a movie review because I haven't done a movie review in a long time. I been itching to watch the James Bond films again, so. I have Dr. No coming up. Speaking of not starting anything.
I was going to say, is that the indication of a start?
Yeah, that's the start of a series, which I shouldn't be starting.
Okay. So, Hypocrite Kevin is...
Yep. Totally, 100%. Well, see, it's a balance, right? Like, I got so much music stuff, and then you got movie stuff as well. I'm going to watch a movie at some point, so, you know, got to balance it all.
Aaron, we were talking earlier about your current project, and you're up to the Beatles in your review series now, and you've been complimented on your Beatles content.
I am up to here with the Beatles right now.
I'm still listening to you. You can still keep talking. I just got to go grab a prop. Just a minute.
Oh, that's fine.
Are you close to done?
I'm in the compilations now. What I did was I went through all the studio albums that I had, which is all of them except for Beatles for Sale I don't have. And then compilations, and I had the Hey Jude EP and that stuff too. So I've been going through. Tomorrow I'm going to get to the Past Masters. So I'm like up into the 80s now. So I would say
the Past Masters stuff has different songs.
Yeah, there's different stuff on there. At this point though, you know, like I've always said, I sort of burnt out on those guys, and so now going through all of this stuff, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more to go.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, and then I'm done, and I'm probably not going to play them for a decade.
So I'll just make an announcement here, and I hope this isn't... I get nervous when I announce stuff like this, like something's going to fall through, but Deke, my public relations / agent, has hooked up next week's guest, and I'm going to make the announcement now. Hold on to your hats. Hold on to your hats. Some serious hero worship coming up.
No way. Right on.
Mike.
I know.
Holy crap.
That is so awesome.
I know. I'm
deep, man.
I'm freaking out.
So how are you going to narrow it down from the 18 million questions you already have to ask that guy?
Well, here's the thing. I don't want to give anything away. There's going to be 3 of us on with Martin next week. Myself, Deke, and the Meat Man.
Nice.
The Meat Man is a Martin Popoff YouTube junkie. He's watched every episode of his shows multiple times, and he's coming preloaded with some crazy, obscure questions. Deke is going to focus on like the top 5 Martin Popoff books, and I think my focus is going to be hero worship. So it's extremely intimidating, considering that he gets like hundreds of viewers at a time, whereas I'm lucky if, I'm happy if I get 10. So I'm really Nervous?
I watch him on Sea of Tranquility all the time. The guy is so chill. He's so laid back. He's gonna be cool, man. That's gonna be awesome.
So this is confirmed next Friday, Martin,
that's awesome.
January 15th. We have him for 1 hour. I don't know what time we're going live yet, but next Friday.
And is he's cross promoting it on his?
I don't know. I don't know, but he'd be better off if he did get more views. But yeah, a little bit of hero worship for me. This is the guy that inspired me to start writing reviews when he published his book Riff Kills Man, his very first book. And I used to keep... I'm not sure where my copy is now. I have a feeling that it's in my storage locker because I had to move a lot of stuff into my storage locker. But I used to keep a copy of Riff Kills Man on my desk at work. And I'd get into work like an hour early. And, just because that's my style. I work in manufacturing, so sometimes those guys start at 7 o'clock. And if there's an emergency, they got help, instructions from me, I get there early.
Yeah.
I don't start until 8:30, but I get there early. So sometimes for that first hour at work, I would write reviews on Amazon. And I would have Riff Kills Man next to me as I'm writing these reviews. And I'd be like, what did Popoff say about this album? Oh, he didn't like it. Oh, okay. And, stuff like that. And
I totally, like when I write my AC/DC reviews, I always check because he's got the AC/DC album by album. And I always check his work because I want to make sure my T's are crossed and my I's. Like, I want my opinion, but like if I say something stupid or whatever, and it was Martin Popoff already corrected, I just want to make sure that everything's so. Yeah, that is so awesome. Like freaking deep, man. The size of balls on that guy. Just like, I'm gonna ask Marty, get Marty on the show. Why not? Call him up.
What's the worst he could say? No.
No, yeah, I know. But to me, I would be like, no way. I'm going to bother that guy for my rinky-dink little show. Deke's like, yeah, no, screw it. Let's ask him.
Yeah, like this guy's like and Deke sent me a message, and he's like, I'm so excited because this guy is like levels and levels and levels above us. And I was like, Deke, I need you to please just stop mentioning that part of it. Because I'm getting nervous, man.
Yeah.
That's why, that's another reason why I asked the Meat Man to be involved, because he is so well versed on those YouTube shows that I haven't watched nearly as many as him. So I feel like it really takes the pressure off me a bit. I'm gonna really be boning up this week, and my goal is to finish this book this week. I want to talk to him about some Van Halen. So there's the spoilers. I hope this all works out for next week, because I'm really, really excited to meet my hero. And
that's awesome.
Yeah,
I'm excited for you.
Major.
So
thank
cool.
you. Well, thank Deke, actually. Thank Deke.
Yeah.
Harrison Kopp, really great question here. That would be the 31st of Never. And maybe you could get some writing tips from him. Lana, I always try to put as many comments on the screen as I can. It gets a little tough sometimes when I have like a big namer on there, because I want them to tell their story. But if I can squeeze in any comments or questions you have, I promise I will do my best. And looking forward to it.
The best thing you can do is scour and find his books, because there you go. It'll just speak to you anyway.
Yeah, truthfully,
right?
That is 100%. I'm not going to recommend any specific ones, because he is he's done so many. But what's his face? Deke. Deke is going to be listing off his top 5. T-Bone. Deke gave me a heads up, and he lost his shit.
Right.
And Lana's just going to be happy to listen to him talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. That's so cool.
Well, boys, I thank you so much for spending almost 2.5 hours with me tonight.
Is that what it's been? Yeah.
Yeah. It flew by. I'm going to go out on, hopefully, a music video.
Cool.
Hopefully. This is a song that I have played before in the early days of live streaming, when it was on Facebook Live, and it didn't get a copyright strike. So, I'm hoping that trend continues, and this song will not get a copyright strike. But, as you guys are well aware, this week I've been reviewing Loudness.
Yes.
And there's not a lot of people have heard Loudness, because most of their albums are only available in Japan. And one of my favorite albums from Loudness is their 1992 self-titled. It was their first album with Masaki Yamada on lead vocals from the band Ezo, or E-Z-O, E-Z-O. I'm not sure technically how it's supposed to be pronounced. I've always pronounced it Ezo. But Loudness needed a new lead singer. Mike Viscara, an American lead singer, had just ditched Loudness to join Yngwie J. Malmsteen. So they needed a new singer, and they decided to go back to their roots and get a Japanese singer. They got probably the second biggest Japanese singer next to the original Minoru Niihara. They got, this is really difficult to say all these names. Masaki Yamada on lead vocals. I fucking love this song. Sorry, Rob Daniels. From the 1992 self-titled Loudness album. This is Black Widow. Take care, Aaron. Take care, Kevin. Let's rock and roll.
Take care,
Black
everybody.
Widow! Loudness! On the LeBrain train. Let's rock.
From the abyss, she's going down. guaranteed 2,000 words or more. LeBrain train. LeBrain train. If rock and roll is what you crave, it's guaranteed to make your day. Stick around and what they've got to say. Oh, LeBrain train. LeBrain train. Yes, the list you never know, so just sit back, enjoy the show. This train goes everywhere you want to go. LeBrain train. LeBrain train.
Give me a one-way ticket to anywhere. And a glazed donut.
To go. LeBrain train.